happens, but an 80-year-old cruise passenger's crew. Now, the pastor's daughter, Catherine Rees, on Thursday accused the cruise company, Coral Expeditions, of, quote, failure of care and common sense that left her mother, Suzanne Rees, to die alone. Now, Suzanne Rees, Sydney resident, was on the second day of a cruise circumnavigating Australia when she disembarked the Coral Adventurer last Saturday at Lizard Island. Boy, I bet she never thought she was going to die on Lizard Island.
Sounds bad.
Now, but I would imagine this is, okay, there's 12 people on the excursion, and when we get back on, you're like,
yeah, let's do a head count.
We got 11. Do we not have 11, Joe?
Yeah. This gets a little worse. So she had planned to hike with other passengers to the mountain to Lookout. The ship left the resort island about 5 hours before reporting her missing late on Saturday. Now, she was climbing the hill. She felt ill. She was asked to head down unescorted. An 80-year-old woman. Hey, you just head on down by yourself.
Go ahead. We'll get you at the bottom.
Now, once she got down there, at some point, they forgot to do a head count. They loaded up the boat, and again, they didn't realize she was gone for 5 hours later. A crew of search helicopters spotted Suzanne Rees' body the next day about 55 yards off the hiking trail of the Lookout. She appeared to have fallen from a cliff or a slope. How do you let an 80-year-old go on their own?
Yeah, that was pretty bad. I didn't know this whole story. I saw the headline, but when you hear the whole story, it's far worse than I imagined. Yeah.
And finally, Japanese research team has completed the first human safety trial of internal ventilation, a process in which oxygen is delivered to the body through the rectum, bypassing the lungs. There is a reason for this.
I would like to know.
Procedure aims to find new ways to support patients with respiratory problems by providing oxygen to the body through alternative means, allowing patients' lungs to heal in time. Now, the study published on October 20th, 2025, involved 27 healthy male volunteers aged 20 to 45. Participants received between 25 and 1,500 milliliters of this non-oxygenated liquid known for its ability to carry oxygen. They were asked to retain it for 60 minutes. Procedure did not yet test whether the method can effectively deliver oxygen into the bloodstream, but the work builds an earlier animal study that showed mammals could survive low oxygen conditions when oxygen was administered rectally. So while it's still experimental, scientists say the approach could one day provide emergency oxygen supply for patients whose lungs are too damaged to function on their own.
Meanwhile, NASA is working on newly designed spacesuits, delivering oxygen in 2 different places.
Yikes. That is I'm going to have to be a bad need of oxygen to go this route.
That is.
Yes, bad need.
That is Trash Today, brought to you by our friends at Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. And that's our show today. We will be back with you tomorrow at 9 a.m. Central Time. Tomorrow, a new Bama and Bourbon will get out, and we'll talk more about the big game coming up in Tuscaloosa between LSU and Alabama. Until next time, God bless you and God bless America.
Favorite Next Round gear all in one place. NextRound.store. From our Next Round hats to the logo tees to the all-time best-selling Y'all Can Have the Rest shirt. You can look your best by shopping with us at NextRound.store. Take the next round anywhere with NextRound.store.
It's bow time. Tired of choosing between sweet and savory? Why not have both? Introducing Bojangles' new chicken and bowberry waffles. The bold Cajun chicken filet you love, now drizzled with a bowberry honey glaze and sandwiched between 2 warm waffles. Which means your favorite meal of the day just met your new favorite dish. And lucky for you, it's served all day. But it's only here for a limited time, so try chicken and bowberry waffles at Bojangles today. It's bow time.
Have you been injured in an 18-wheeler accident, company truck accident, car accident, or work-related accident? Call Alabama's largest personal injury firm. Alexander Shinara Trial Attorneys will fight for every dollar you deserve, and it won't cost you a dime. Trust me. What do you say, man?
Call me, Alabama.
Call 659-777-7777 or go to Shinara.com.
No representation made that the legal services provided are better than legal services provided by other attorneys.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, the Next Round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
Live show now. What is this, a Wednesday? Trivia later tonight with these guys. More football tonight because we're in the middle of that great 49, 62-day run of football. Crazy day, NFL trade deadline. We'll get to that. And the actual games on the field. And a media friend basically calling me Maury Povich. We'll talk about that later on.
Are we doing he didn't do Jenniferville. What did he do? He did.
I think, did he do Jennerville?
No, not Jennerville. He did if it's your
tests.
Yeah, what?
Yeah.
Paternity test.
Yeah.
Look, I mean, you got to find your strength and weaknesses, and he finally, found the go-to, and that was it.
He's like, people are going to watch this every day. All right, we'll keep doing it.
All right. So
There's no shortage of pregnant people.
We'll find out where my DNA is coming up in a little bit. But right now we start, as we always do, with the biggest thing out there, and that was the college football playoff selection show, the first of a few before we get to the actual selection show in about a month. I've got a couple of reaction things here. My first big thing is this. We'll just start. The thing that jumped out for me is Notre Dame is where we thought they would be, and they're in a really good spot where if they win the rest of the way, they look like they're in the playoffs.
Yeah, and look, and I think they should be. They didn't look great this past weekend against BC, and maybe that was just a down moment because you're a 4-touchdown favorite there. The only, to me, losable game coming up is at Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh now a ranked team in the ACC with only one loss in conference. That could be a difficult game because Pittsburgh can score. But outside of that, and look, when you're going to look back on this, if Pittsburgh does lose that game, they're not going to be ranked the remaining of the year. And then if USC loses a game or two, Notre Dame's going to have 0 ranked wins, but it's not going to matter.
Yeah, I mean, they could be in the playoffs as a 2-loss team with 0 ranked wins. That is not far-fetched. But if they don't lose another game, they are in. They've already told you they value Notre Dame more than Miami, who beat them head-to-head. Now, I am a believer in head-to-head. When all other things are equal, I think head-to-head's got to matter. But with that said, that was also head-to-head early September. I think you do have to allow for things to change by the middle of October or the first week of October. November, right? I mean, if we're going to compare a first week of September game to a November game, for instance, I'll give you this. If Florida State was a one-loss team, this Alabama team I might have ranked in front of Florida State too, because I think Alabama's gotten better since then. Maybe Notre Dame has too.
Yeah, I don't know if I could do that just because I saw Florida State win that game by double digits. And a lot of people were going to be upset. And, even Clay brought up, they got the same record. So, how can Miami with the same record that beat them head-to-head be below them? Well, I mean, one team's going in one direction and the other team's going in another direction. We're in November. So, I have no problem at all where Miami and Notre Dame both sit.
It goes back to the letter you wrote to Sports Illustrated, young Jim Dunaway. What was your argument? Like Alabama's loss was USC and USC's loss is Washington State?
It goes back to your letter, Jim. What was it again?
Yeah.
It's more fitting for a team like Alabama to lose to a team like USC than for a team like USC to lose to a team like Arizona State that year.
So what they're saying is we know Notre Dame lost to Miami, but Notre Dame's lost to Miami and Texas A&M. Those are not terrible losses. And Miami
18-3 in the polls to put some facts behind it.
And Miami has lost to Louisville and SMU.
Yeah, but Louisville is 15th, SMU currently unranked. Before we get too far in the reads on hypotheticals and scenarios, a couple of other thoughts. I mean, if we're going by anything other than the eye test, I would not have had a problem with Indiana being number 1 over Ohio State. Here's why. They won on the road at number 9 Oregon. And according to the committee, they won on the road against number 20 Iowa. Ohio State has a win over Texas and 23 Washington. I think you can make a case Indiana could be ranked ahead, though I think Ohio State's a better team. But there's a case to be made, Indiana over Ohio State, but I have no problem them being 1-2.
Yeah, I mean, we thought it would be 1-2, and I think some brand does resonate here with Ohio State. But, I mean, Indiana's got the better resume. I mean, that is no doubt about it. If they play, which they will play in Indianapolis, Ohio State's going to be a touchdown-plus favorite in that
I don't
game.
even know if that's a good gauge. It's going to be such a meaningless game.
Yeah, it really will be. But, I would have had no problem with that. Look, I mean, one of the points we made yesterday was they're going to back in a lot of Big Ten teams.
Oh, we nailed that one.
Yeah. And it was, not all like 25-21. I mean, they were, 19-23 when you look at USC, Iowa, Michigan, and Washington. I mean, they want Big Ten flavor in this thing because you're going to get 4 SECs, and they at least want 3, but they want 4 Big Tens.
I think if we look back last year, over the recent years, you would see the same thing being done to SEC teams at the bottom. And it's something I've said a long time, and I'm sure Brown has too, that the really meat of these rankings happen at the bottom, 18 through 25, because that's how you set up what's going on at the top. For instance, Alabama's there at number 4. They have ranked wins at Georgia, number 5, 16 and 22 in Vandy and Missouri. Oh, and by the way, sneaking in at 25 is Tennessee. Another Alabama win, a 3-loss with no notable win, Tennessee.
I mean, Alabama's got the best resume right now.
They
football.
do.
Yeah,
They just have a loss.
I just named 1, 2, 3, 4 ranked wins, but they lost to Florida State.
Yeah, I mean, if they didn't have a loss, they would be number 1, no doubt about it.
If this were college basketball, I mean, Alabama would be your national number 1, period, because of that resume. But in football, losses are important. I mean, they have a lot of value.
Fact of the matter, if Florida State was where Virginia is, that would hold a lot of weight with this new metric.
Yeah, that's the next big takeaway there is the ACC got 0 respect. Their highest ranked team, I have them at 14 in Virginia, followed immediately by 15 Louisville, 17 Georgia Tech, 18 Miami right there, 24 Pitt. A lot of ACC at the bottom.
But they're trying to find one.
But they're telling you basically it's a one-bid league. Whoever wins your championship, good luck.
You know, when we did the Hugh Freeze firing show on Sunday, I don't know why I had to bring up a couple of points, but one of them was the ACC is absolutely garbage.
Yeah, no, you did your Lance Taylor obituaries.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know what got you on that, but Bobby Petrino was dead. We've killed Bob Petrino, Lance. Jim, I don't know if you caught that. Lance he's off the wagon now.
I mean, I think it's been a good enough on-job interview that it's not going to work.
You killed him. You killed the ACC, and there was one more thing you killed. I can't remember the other one you killed, but the ACC was one of them. The ACC getting 2 bids. I mean, it is.
If you're relying on Virginia or Louisville, that's a problem, right? I mean, there is no way either one of those teams can win a game in this playoff, in my opinion.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's a one-bid league. That's what they're telling you. And they've set it up to where it does look like, barring a BYU win over Texas Tech, that the Big 12 would have the best chance at maybe fighting in for a second bid. But other than that, it's going to be, as usual, an SEC Big 10 Invitational.
Yeah. Utah positioned well there at 13 out of the Big 12. Yep. Utah's problem, though, is they can't get to the Big 12 championship game right now. Maybe they work their way back in there. But right now, that's their big problem is they've got a 1 loss and a 0 loss in front of them in Texas Tech and BYU. And if Texas Tech beats BYU Saturday, it becomes even more of a challenge for Utah.
Yep.
But if BYU loses, and then they get the rematch, you brought this scenario up yesterday, and they get the rematch against Texas Tech and they beat Texas Tech, then I think you got 2.
That's the best way. And they've set that up in the rankings there.
I think almost the Big 12 needs to have a big meeting and say, hey, look, this is the way we need to play this thing out for the money of the conference.
If BYU beats Texas Tech, that is heading towards a one-bid league as well this weekend.
Yeah, if BYU wins this weekend, absolutely. You could feel like Big 12 and ACC get one.
But let me say this, though. I mean, I guess there's another way to look at this. If BYU wins this weekend and they're undefeated and then they lose in the Big 12 championship game to a 2-loss whoever.
Hard to keep them out.
It would be hard to keep BYU out at that point.
That was my point, yeah. Okay. If BYU wins this weekend, you got a chance for a 2-bid league if they lose that game. But if they, absolutely. Yeah. Because you get the automatic bids. Group of 5 not ranked, as we said on the show yesterday. We did not expect them to be ranked, but that's no problem because they get 1 bid to the party anyway.
They did their own rankings. It was almost a slap in the face to the group of 5 that they had to unveil a second set of rankings.
I do think we're going to get to a point where they're not going to be invited.
Yeah, I'm glad my intel was correct. That's because it's the first time it's happened. I'm glad my intel was right on that's how they would end up doing it. They had to show, not in our 25, but here is how right now we position the group of 5s.
Yeah, but I mean, if they'd thrown Memphis in there where Tennessee was, would that have bothered you?
It wouldn't have, but it would have felt like we just 20. Here's a top 24, and here's the G5. We're going to have a G5.
We're just going to shoehorn them in. Yeah, we're going to put them in number 25.
Yeah. So that was some of the big takeaways from that last night. We'd love to hear some of yours in the chat room. You can jump in there as well. I have one. There's always one doomsday scenario. that the great minds of college football get together and they write stories about them, every one of these. And again, a whole month, so this doesn't always pan out, probably will not pan out. But what that doomsday scenario is, right after LT tells us about the great folks at CPAP Plus. Sleep Home Alabama, LT, is the website where you go and you enjoy the great information that can help you with a great night's sleep.
Yeah, so if you're on CPAP, listen up. Our friends at O'Neill Medical, CPAP Plus, they're running their Show Your Score promotion right now. Just stop by one of their stores locally, Pelham, Trustful, or Inverness on Highway 280. No appointment needed. Show your ResMed My Air sleep score, and you're automatically entered to win a brand new ResMed Air Mini travel CPAP worth $900. Again, show that ResMed My Air sleep score. You're automatically entered to win a brand new ResMed Air Mini travel CPAP worth $900. The Show Your Score raffle runs through December 31st, so don't miss it. Get the details at o'neillmed.com. That's ONEALmed.com.
Hey, Central State Bank, that is the local bank that doesn't just open accounts, they open relationships. Family-owned, community-focused, built on trust. For more than 100 years, Central State Bank has served Shelby County and Tallapoosa County with local decisions and personal service that feels like home. So whether you're starting a business, buying a car, or planning for tomorrow, Central State Bank is here every step of the way. Central State Bank, rooted in community, driven by relationships, member FDIC.
All right, here's the it's not the only doomsday scenario, but it is an interesting one. Michigan only has at Northwestern, at Maryland, and Ohio State left.
Okay,
they're pretty good against Ohio State.
They are, but they're likely 2-1 in that stretch.
Yeah, they're not a very good team. And they're good, but
they could be 3-0 in that stretch. I mean, it's not a surprise if they are.
If Michigan wins out, they are in the Big Ten championship game.
Wow. Okay.
I mean, look, they got to beat Ohio State again.
Yeah, so. I'd already written that off to Ohio State and Indiana. I'd not consider Michigan getting in there, but okay.
So
doable?
Because remember, one of their losses is out of conference to Oklahoma.
That's right. Yeah, doable.
So if they go to the Big Ten championship game,
it's like the SEC. They're getting in,
and they lose to Indiana. Then
getting in,
they are 9-3.
Yeah, but they're in.
They're in,
and the decision likely comes then in this doomsday scenario for the final spot of 9-3 Michigan against 9-3 Oklahoma. Who gets in?
You go Michigan because they played their conference championship game, and I know people are gonna.
You can't.
I know people are going to recoil at that, but you got to remember who runs this thing. TV, number one. Michigan, Oklahoma, both very appealing. Michigan probably a little more so, but it's not going to come down to that. Number two, who runs this thing, are the SEC and the Big Ten. And the one thing they cannot have happen right now, maybe one day, but right now, Lance, they cannot have their conference championship game devalued to the point that a team can go play in that game and it costs them a spot in the college football playoff.
You are right. And look, it is
a
great scenario to bring up because that is doomsday.
For those that don't remember, Oklahoma beat Michigan head-to-head.
Yeah, and they beat them soundly.
Yes.
Like, that really wasn't
yes.
Michigan could do nothing offensively against Oklahoma that night. But you're right. I mean, we've heard it from the source themselves that if you play in the SEC championship game, you can't be punished.
Yeah.
So I don't know what you do. I kind of hope it plays out like that.
Well,
I really do.
That means Oklahoma beats Alabama. So, to further your point, Oklahoma's going to have some pretty dang good wins if they are in this situation because.
No. That would be an Oklahoma loss to Alabama.
That would be 3-loss Oklahoma? Okay.
Yeah, it's 3-loss Oklahoma, 3-loss Michigan.
Yeah, they're still clinging on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just doesn't feel like a playoff team. But
no. I think once you get to 3 losses, and I said this with Alabama last year to be consistent, once you get to 3 losses, you've lost any right to complain.
Well, that would be Michigan with the 3rd loss.
No, it would be. And listen, I'm fine with you not complaining. I'm just telling you realistically how this is going to play out.
Yeah.
Is the conferences are going to protect those conference championship games until the day comes when the TV folks come up with enough money for them to say, you know what, expanded playoff and us not doing a conference championship game is the way to go, then those things won't matter anymore.
But is there any way that the Big Ten in that scenario can get 4 in? Because you've got –
well, Ohio State's
they're locked. Yeah,
Indiana's locked.
Then Michigan losing would be locked, but could you get a 4th that didn't play in that game and only has 2 losses?
Oregon.
Yeah.
Or USC. I think USC-Oregon is setting up to be a really, really interesting game if USC and Oregon can get past Iowa. I brought this up over the next 2 weeks. That could be a huge game in 3 weeks.
Well, the committee told you they're not impressed with Oregon right now, whether it's eye test, resume, or both. Their big win is Penn State, which doesn't look good right now. They're 0-5 in the Big Ten. They're 9th in the college football playoff rankings. They're 6th in the AP poll. So the men in the room, who, by the way, have heavy Big Ten flavor, the coaches are Chris Alt, Mark D'Antonio, and Mike Riley. Now, I know Mike Riley played at Alabama, but he spent most of his time coaching on the West Coast. Mark D'Antonio, of course, a Michigan State guy. Chris Alt,
he was
several
Nevada,
places.
right?
Nevada, yeah.
This is where he made his name, but he's been around college football.
Master of the pistol
That's
offense.
right.
Those are the three coaches. Baylor AD Mac Rhodes runs the thing. Not SEC influence. I mean, coaches usually rule the room in this. I'm told,
right,
because they are the football minds and they sort of dominate the conversation. Alt, D'Antonio, and Riley will be deciding the eye test portion of this later on. And right now, they're telling you they're not really impressed with Oregon, who plays at Iowa this weekend, who they are impressed with. So it's 9 versus 20 this weekend in that big matchup. Away from the college football playoff rankings. Later on, we'll get back to the way the playoffs would look in the matchups. Peter Burns, by the way, next segment. Show being brought to you by our friend Alexander Shannara Browning.
Alexander Shannara Trial Attorneys is where you go when you're in need of an attorney. And I've got great news for you. You don't pay a single dime unless they win your case. I mean, why would you, right? That's how confident Alexander Shannara is in the cases he fights for you. Alexander is a Birmingham guy, Birmingham born and bred. So he wanted to build his headquarters in Birmingham to take care of the people of Birmingham, and he's done just that. 24 years. They've grown to more than 150 lawyers, supported by more than 500 dedicated team members, and they've recovered more than $2 billion, maintaining Alexander's core values: integrity, mastery, passion, and success. When you find yourself in need of an attorney, Alexander Shannara Trial Attorneys, Shannara.com. Shannara.com.
All right, and it's that time of year at the Pants Store. It's football season, but it's also the holidays. In fact, in the lobby of our studios, the Christmas tree is already up this morning. I was greeted to that this morning when I walked in, and they handed me a cup of hot chocolate. No, they didn't. But there was a choir. No, there was no choir. But we were thinking about the holidays, and the Pants Store can help you there with great Alabama and Auburn gear, the hats, the quarter zips, the hoodies, and the sweatshirts. They've got it all. Famous name brands like Horn Legend, Cutter and Buck, Antigua and Gentile. Nothing says War Eagle and Roll Tide like the Pants Store right there. And then, of course, for the ladies, they've got the dresses and the rompers and the sneakers and the platforms and the fall boots, all with free alterations and free gift wrapping. Huntsville and Tuscaloosa and Auburn and all over the Birmingham area, but they'll ship anywhere. Pantsstore.com, pantsstore.com. We'll talk to Peter Burns about job openings and the stuff on the field in the SEC, but Joel Klatt with us on Monday. He is, just by all ranking systems, probably the second most powerful voice in college football when it comes to analysts.
You think behind Herb Street?
Herb Street and Klatt.
Yeah, I mean, Herb Street's, grandfathered in. He's probably been doing this at a higher level for a decade in front of Klatt. I think Klatt is right there with him.
It's Herb Street and Klatt, but yes. I mean, Herb Street is one. Klatt is two.
But I think he continues to close the gap every year.
Klatt's
Would you not agree with that?
Yeah, Klatt's problem is they've had a crappy schedule this year, and that hurts him. Herb Street's had a great schedule.
So Klatt, I'm the one that threw out this question. I asked him about the Auburn job. Did it go the way I thought it was going to go? It did not. Sometimes you ask questions, you think you know what the answer is going to be, and some of the best answers are often when you're surprised at what the answer is. Mm-hmm. Here is a snippet of what Klatt told us from the Crane and Company. Good guys, we collab with them occasionally. Crane and Company, Jake Crane's crew, who do a wonderful job on all the same platforms we're on. And they're reacting to what Klatt says about the Auburn job. This is from their socials on how they chopped it up, and then we shortened Jake Crane's answer here to get to a part which I thought was funny, but here's the reaction.
Cue all the Auburn fans getting all upset. They're not even the best job in their own state. The problem is that Auburn's expectations are in line with Alabama's expectations. And it's just like, hey, like, that ain't it. It's like the sister of the beauty queen. She comes along a few years later and she's like, my sister was the homecoming queen. It's like, yeah, well, you ain't your sister.
So I think this was set up, to be honest with you. I think they talked about this before they asked him that question and brought him on. I think it's a Maury Povich trick. I don't know deep down if Joel believes that. And if he does, it's wrong.
Yeah. So I said,
you guys you're fucking with us, right? Yeah. I mean, you were playing a joke on us, right? That's not real.
I said, no, that's really what he said. I sent Jake a text this morning. I said,
my gosh.
Dude, the guys I do the show with, they give me full autonomy to plan out the show and walk us through the show. We don't even know what we're going to discuss for the final 9 minutes of this segment or the next segment or the next segment or the next segment. And we wing it. To think that we pre-interview our guest and set up something with Joel Klatt to do a bit, as I texted Jake, that's just not true.
Was that the whole clip right there?
Oh, no.
Okay,
the only reason go check their socials out. They explained how they disagree.
Okay, well,
and I sort of agree with them that you can't live in the mentality that I am second to Alabama and that I'm a mid-tier SEC program or I'm this program or that program. You've got to believe, you've got to work towards being the best. And I agree 100% with what they said.
Yeah, well, that's fine. But what Joel said is 100%. Like, they're not even the best team in the state. That's not even close.
No, but when you
the expectations are the same.
Okay, yes, the expectations should be the same, but you start throwing in, how many schools could you throw into Auburn's place, take Auburn out and put them in that location that would be second to Alabama?
Almost all.
Almost all.
Yeah.
Maybe Ohio State.
But I'm just saying, but what he said is factual.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not close.
Yeah, but you can't, again, if you've got 136 teams in FBS and you could throw 134 of them into Auburn's spot, they're going to be the second best program in their state.
This is the, Little League saying, my kid's as good as your kid. And it's just not. It's not factual. And it never will be. Auburn will never be a better program than Alabama.
In periods of time, they can be.
Well, I mean, a year here, a year there. But I'm just talking about, like, when we're all dead and gone and this planet is gone, we can look back from,
I would tell you in the 80s, a whole decade, Auburn was better than Alabama.
They were.
Yeah, a whole decade.
That might be the only decade you can point out.
I mean, but I'm saying we've got 125-year sample size.
Yeah.
I'm just saying it's pretty big.
But here's the point. Even if you agree, okay, well, Auburn, they shouldn't have the same expectations as Alabama. Hugh Freeze wasn't even living up to the dumbed-down expectations. Yeah. So you fire him, right? I mean, nobody's arguing against that. I think what Klatt's talking about is, I guess Klatt was talking about the type of coach you're shopping for or how you treat that coach if he is a 10-win coach.
Yeah, I think what he was saying, and maybe this all runs together, did he not say Auburn eats their own? I thought that was one of his quotes, or maybe it was somebody else's, but I thought Klatt meant if you don't get in there and play to Alabama's level, you're only going to get a minimal amount of time.
That you're churning through them right now, I think, every 3 years.
Yeah, but to Brown's point, like, it wasn't even close to that. If you're winning 9 games, are you okay? I don't know.
Yeah, the thing I always push back on the show is because, and it's not just you guys, I think we all believe this, that there are certain programs that are in this class system and certain programs in this class system and certain programs in this class system, and they should be okay being there. And that is not the case. You should always try to be the best in the country.
I agree.
You should always be striving to be
that
number one.
That should be the expectation.
Yeah. Auburn should be striving to be better than Alabama and Georgia. They're two biggest rivals.
And to your point, Auburn being a better program in the 80s, yes. Like right now, Missouri, I mean, historically, Auburn is a much better program, but Missouri right now in this time and place, better program. Ole Miss, same thing. Historically, Auburn, better program. Ole Miss, better right now.
Yeah. But listen, I forget, Brown, when you pulled me from local TV to dabble in this.
2003-ish.
Was it 2003?
Yeah.
And early on, I think I said something with the impression that, there are certain programs here and certain programs here, and you should be happy being here. And an Auburn caller called in and said, so, Jim, you're saying I can't have the house in Tuscany?
That's right. It's the old Seinfeld line. No, there are no houses available in Tuscany.
Yeah, not for you.
Not for you.
Not for you. Not in the house in Tuscany.
The Maestro had a house in Tuscany. Jerry, there's no houses there.
No houses for you.
I think that was the classic caller, Jeffrey in Trustful, that said that.
Yeah.
Very funny guy.
And you should, and to Jake Crane and David Cohn and the rest of the Crane guys, they're exactly right. Auburn can't live in that mentality of what Joel was painting there.
You can't.
But in the reality of where it is right now, that's where Auburn is right now.
But probably one of the hardest things to do in sports is take a non-blue blood college football program and play with the blue bloods. I mean, tell me anybody that's done it long term. I mean, Miami did it for a minute in the 80s. They couldn't sustain it. Oregon has tried. They hadn't even won a national championship.
I mean, like Florida,
Florida.
That was new money for a while, but Florida has disappeared.
Yeah, they've disappeared.
Florida's in the same spot Auburn is.
And I don't know why this is. I don't know what. I do know some things, but what makes Ohio State always going to be good? What makes Alabama always good? What makes? I mean, you run out of these pretty quick. By the way, when you start doing this, it's a very exclusive class.
I mean, Oklahoma's close.
Oklahoma is close. I mean, Texas is always pretty good. They've won one championship in my lifetime, basically.
But again, to push back, and I told Jake, I said it was my fault for not following up with Joel. But in a
did he call you to say, hey, I was just kind of kidding about this?
No. I texted him to say, hey, I saw this funny. You're too young to even know who Maury Povich is. I got the reference. I don't know how many of your viewers and listeners got it. But, I should have did a follow-up for Joel to get him to explain a little bit more or to, do a little counter. I love to be the antagonist and play the other side of anything.
I thought he explained it good.
Yeah, but I should have said, Joel, come on, you can't. If you're an Auburn person, you can't accept what you're saying.
See, I agree with you.
I should have said that. But then I told Jake in a 3-person show, it's my turn to pass the baton to Brown. I was expecting Brown to do the manly thing and push back, but he didn't.
But, I mean, you can have expectations. Like you want your daughter to marry, I don't know, throw out random Tom Brady. But more than likely, she's going to marry a CPA that's making $75,000 and. But it's kind of a deadbeat.
Tom Brady coming up a little bit later on in the Bojangles Tender moment of the day.
I know we got to get to Peter, but don't you subscribe to the Clay Travis theory, though, that if your job is open in the SEC, you back up the Brinks truck? You go to whoever you think the best guy is, and you give him enough money, he can't say no.
But the problem now is everybody's got a Brinks truck.
Well, they do.
Yeah,
there are more Brinks trucks now.
And that is the point we'll end the discussion on is you talk about blue bloods and such like that. Mm-hmm. Never has there been a time easier for you to become a blue blood.
Ask Indiana and Ole Miss.
You can pay your way to it now legally. You can spend however much money you're comfortable spending to move to whatever house in Tuscany you want to move to.
That's right.
You can do that. Indiana is doing it right now.
Ole Miss is.
Texas A&M is doing it right now. Ole Miss is doing it right now.
Texas
Tech is trying to do it. And looks like they're doing it.
They haven't done it yet.
They haven't yet.
None of those have done it. Indiana's old money
now.
They're
way closer than they ever have been.
But there are questions of whether Alabama can keep doing it. Can Florida keep doing it? Can LSU keep doing it? Can Georgia keep doing it at their level of doing it?
I mean, that's what's got to be frustrating for an Auburn fan is you lose Nick Saban, the greatest to ever do it, and then you bring in my opinion, a top 3 coach right now, and you have a down year at 9-3. You're the last team out of the playoff, and now you're number 4.
9-4, lost the bowl game. But yes, I said that in a radio interview on Sunday. Hugh Freeze was supposed to be the guy that would bridge and move Auburn up as Nick Saban vacated the premises, and he failed.
And I thought he would be that guy.
And he failed. Mm-hmm. Peter Burns coming up on the other side. Dabo Swinney with a sort of a gambling accusation, it seemed like, in his news conference. We'll talk about that later in the show.
On the officials?
It's a jam-packed show. Jam-packed show coming up.
Man, I'm missing a lot. I need to get on that social media more.
This show brought to you by Lance's Lock. Right there, lanceslock.com, brought to you by our friends at Hemphill.
So we are coming off a losing night, 1-2, but recapping last week, we were 24-10. We were up 62 stars. We were 7-0 with our free plays. We have been absolutely killing it again, 1-2. We're very transparent. Jump on board and win with us. College football tonight, college basketball, the NBA, everything available. lanceslock.com, or again, you get a free play. It is brought to you by our friends at Hemphill Services. Trust the name. Birmingham has trusted since 1950. If you experience plumbing, heating, cooling, any of those issues in a home or business, they are ready to serve you. Hard to stop a train. Call Adam, Chad, Andrew, the guys there. For more information, hemphillservices.com.
Hey, this college football weekend and high school tailgating and college football tailgating, make it Bojangles, the crispy chicken tenders, those great dipping sauces that go with it, all the wonderful sides. There for you to improve any football weekend. Whether it's a watch party or a tailgate, Bojangles can cater it for you. And tomorrow, on your way to work or taking the kids to school, swing by your local Bojangles and pick up that pork chop griller. Back for a limited time. You've missed it. It has missed you. You can get it right now at Bojangles. As always, make it bow time. Peter Burns is next.
Follow Dunaway on Twitter and Instagram at Jim Dunaway.
Have you been injured in an 18-wheeler accident, company truck accident, car accident, or work-related accident, call Alabama's largest personal injury firm. Alexander Shinara Trial Attorneys will fight for every dollar you deserve, and it won't cost you a dime. Trust me. What do you say, man?
Call me, Alabama.
Call 659-777-7777 or go to shinara.com.
No representation made that the legal services provided are better than legal services provided by other attorneys.
What are you waiting for? It's non-stop gaming action at Birmingham Racecourse Casino. Come play more than 900 of the latest and greatest games around, featuring fun bonuses and big jackpots. You can wager and win on horse and greyhound races from all over the world. There are more ways to win at Birmingham Racecourse Casino. Birmingham Racecourse Casino, located off I-459, exit 31, Derby Parkway. Must be 21 or older.
What a matchup we've got, folks. Just non-stop action. The energy is electric and the fans are all in. An intense game like this calls for a Coca-Cola. Ah, crisp and refreshing. That's a game changer. Yeah, that taste scores every time. And just like that, they're back at it. Passionate fans and an ice-cold Coca-Cola. Now that's a winning combo. No matter the team, no matter the sport, everyone knows fan work is thirsty work. Enjoy a Coca-Cola.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, you're in the red zone for every college rivalry and divisional matchup all season long. I mean, where else are the scenic views as good as your view of the game? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Catch up on all today's Next Round on demand through the podcast platform of your choice, Apple, Spotify, iHeart, or Google Podcast, wherever you listen. Always like, follow, subscribe, and turn on automatic downloads so you never miss any part of the Next Round. Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Hemphill Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Hemphill are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Hemphill Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Hemphill Services. Call now, 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090. Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round to tell you about my friends at Michelson Laser Vision, located conveniently UAB Highlands. Almost 20 years ago, I went in for the procedure. Only took 12 minutes for both eyes. When I went in, I had 20/200 vision. I was legally blind. Now I have 20/15 vision, still 19 years later. Make the call today. Schedule a hassle-free consultation, 969-8100. Dr. Mark Michelson, Dr. Jen Michelson, Michelson Laser Vision. Make sure you tell them the Next Round sent you, 969-8100 or MichelsonLaserVision.com.
When you crave activity like we do, you belong in the Roback family. Get the best golf wear, hoodies, and activewear for men and women at Roback.com. Use promo code TNR20 to get 20% off your order. That's Roback.com, promo code TNR20.
It's bow time. Tired of choosing between sweet and savory? Why not have both? Introducing Bojangles' new chicken and bowberry waffles. The bold Cajun chicken filet you love, now drizzled with a bowberry honey glaze and sandwiched between two warm waffles. Which means your favorite meal of the day just met your new favorite dish. And lucky for you, it's served all day. But it's only here for a limited time, so try chicken and bowberry waffles at Bojangles today. It's bow time.
There are two things I can tell you. One of them, being friends with Peter Burns, is thirsty work, and game day is thirsty work. Game day deserves the great taste of Coke Zero Sugar because fan work and Peter Burns' friendship is thirsty work.
Did you just call Burns a thirst trap? Is that what you're calling him?
Some girls do.
Hell
yeah.
Peter Burns.
Some girls do.
SEC Network with us. What's up, Burnsy? How are you? But what is this?
Nothing. You want me to thirst trap it?
Hey, you don't have your nipples pierced, do you?
Boring.
Yeah.
What's up?
I haven't seen anybody pull their shirt down to show me a nipple since I was doing 5 to 10 in the state pen.
It's those were good times, weren't they? They were good times. That's what it feels like to be an LSU fan right now. It's just like you have no idea when you hear like the clink of the jail cell, like what's about to happen right now. It's this Cajun Game of Thrones. This is as good as it gets for sports media right now, buddy.
Cajun Game of Thrones.
So you grew up down there. You know, you were an LSU guy. You've been back to LSU games. Is that I mean, it's just rare you see a governor talk so openly about a college football program like that.
Rare. I don't think we've ever seen it.
Yeah, incredibly rare. Might have been the better way of saying it. Tuberville has not gotten in office yet. I'll point that out. But, I mean, is it as dysfunctional as it appears from the outside in that whole situation there, Bernsey?
I mean, the thing is that the dysfunction was on full display for everybody. I mean, Louisiana politics and politics as a whole has been dysfunctional since, I mean, the days of Caesar, right? So it's not like I've never can remember a politician getting involved in sports issues and it'd be like, well, that fixed everything. That seems to be a lot smoother than before. So I think the difference is, and like I said, boys, the difference is traditionally these conversations are being had behind closed doors, and it was just so odd that it was happening in front of a press conference, which seemed to muddy the water because now that they have a university president, now the university president already went in and came in and took the interim term for Verge Osbury off, so you have an athletic director. Like, now you go back and look at it and go, did we really need to have this press conference at all that muddied the water? Like, could you just move in silence and not have that press conference, made those moves, and everybody would be looking at LSU in a different way, but we can't put it back in the can after just kind of a disastrous couple of days.
So, Peter, yeah, like I would have said before that LSU, the top job, Penn State and Florida are right there in the stratosphere. But how much has this affected LSU being the best job available right now?
Well, I mean, it muddies the water because I think anybody that did their due diligence, they would know about the politics that go involved around Louisiana or any job, right? But what it does now is just kind of makes you wonder, go, all right, like who really is calling the shots? Is it going to be Verge Osbury, the athletic director? Is he going to have complete control? Or did he get this job because it's like, all right, hey, you're going to be kind of told what to do, but you're still going to be the athletic director at LSU, which is awesome and a job that he would love to have? I don't know. And so I think that's the question right now is that if you're any big name coach out there, or do you want to get involved in this, or are there other opportunities for you to say, nah, I don't, you know what, it's a great job, I'd love it, but I think it's smoother sailing at other plations.
I love Cajun Game of Thrones and the fact that you have the Verge of Osbury now in charge of the athletic department. That sounds like a character.
Dun, 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 dun. I mean, you know the theme music, right? Like,
yeah.
It's there. Hey, and that's the crazy part about it, Jim, and I said it yesterday. Who would ever thought in 2025 we'd be talking about Auburn having arguably the most stable situation to go into as far as a president, an athletic director, and even power brokers and boosters? Like, I didn't think that was possible. And yet that's probably I think it's more stable than Arkansas, more stable than Florida, and more stable than LSU right now.
More on Auburn in a second, but let me just ask you about Nick Saban so we can put this to bed here. I saw Moscano had the Verge of Osbury on his show, and he said that Saban's not getting back into coaching, that he talks to Nick Saban often. Why not? I mean, Nick Saban loves that place. Why not lean on Nick Saban? And maybe they are leaning on Nick Saban to help find the next coach there. Would you, if you were in charge of the search, ask Nick Saban for advice? I know he probably wouldn't be on the search committee, but how often would you call Nick Saban and say, man, you know what it takes to work here. Who do you like?
I mean, why would you not? I mean, that was the first thing, Jim, I tweeted whenever the news came out. And I said it wasn't about hiring Nick Saban, because I don't think Nick Saban gets back into coaching again. But it's the first thing you do is go to Nick and be like, what can I do to get you involved in this? Even if it's just as a shoulder to lean on. You know how the state runs. People are going to, if all of a sudden they know you're involved with the picking of the next coach, you almost get like kind of the Midas touch, like, okay, like, Coach, Saban has, given his hand of approval. And so it'd make it a whole lot easier for everybody. But real quick, I knew Saban was not getting back into coaching when I saw that video of Miss Terry giving him the cake a couple of days ago. Have you seen that?
He's never looked older. I mean, like they needed it.
He's never looked more comfortable. It was like the most comfortable, like, I'm retired, I got a heavy blanket, and I'm just watching football, and like, yeah, I got to celebrate my damn birthday. Like, I knew at that point they ain't never coaching again. But you'd be dumb not to kick, to call everybody and pick their brain to figure out what direction you go right now.
Hey, my takeaway from that was it's nice to know that even Nick Saban's wife walks in at the most inopportune time of a football game. If you notice the score, I think it's 28-21, and the Chiefs have the ball.
Chiefs are driving.
I sit here and watch this whole game. The Chiefs are driving, trying to tie the game up. And you're bringing me the cake right now?
Well, he stared right through her and the cake.
Yeah. God bless it. Again, this just sets up for just chaos. And now I'm kind of curious about, all right, if you were at Kentucky and looking to get into the mix, and should you have done it last year? Would you have been one of the better jobs that are open? Because now, guys, we're going to have probably 15, if not, hell, between backfills, probably 20 jobs out there. Like, there's musical chairs, and there's not enough people to fill the actual chairs.
Yeah, I want to ask you that question. Well, I want to ask you this question. We've been accused today of being a Maury Povich show where we set up answers from guests. I know how you're going to answer this because I saw you answer it on SportsCenter yesterday.
Page 2.
Yeah, so I'm not setting it up, but I am asking you a question. I know how you've answered it already. You touched on this a moment ago. Did you say on SportsCenter yesterday you believe Auburn is the best opening?
Yeah, as far as when you're talking about the idea of alignment of what you're going to get, that you're not dealing with the power brokers, you're going to be dealing with one athletic director. He's going to be making the call. That's John Cohen. Have a president that's always in line. And go back to think about what Saban said. He goes, listen, when I come to Alabama, everybody needs to be online, and we're on board with this. And guess what? It worked. And so for me, I look at it and I'm like, what's the calmest situation? And the fact that the last 2 hires were such a disaster, the bar is set so low for Auburn football to be damn good. Like, I don't know. There still feels like a level of dysfunction over in Florida. There's absolutely dysfunction over at LSU. And for Arkansas, you had Hunter Yurachek a couple weeks ago talking about, the NIL and college football. They don't know what it takes to compete. So I never thought I'd say this, but yes, Auburn is probably the best job, the safest job of all of those.
Peter, you're insane, though, if you're telling me right now John Sumrall, let's just use him as an example, is offered both Auburn and LSU. There is not a chance in hell he takes Auburn.
Okay. And you can tell me this in 4 or 5 years from now. If that didn't work, we'll go have that conversation. But let me ask you, where's the last home run hire we've had? Like, literally go back and look at home run hires and say the alignment's there. This coach is set up. He's going to have a lot of success. The only one I can think of, or the
Kirk Cignetti, I think Dan Lanning, I think Kalen DeBoer.
Do we know? I mean, like with Kirk, do we know? We've had a year and a half. He was a carnival barker last year. They were kind of a fraudulent team, and then I think they're legit this year. But what happens in 2 years from now? Like we sure as hell don't know.
Well, I mean, what matters? It's Indiana football.
I mean. In the fact that we got $93 million on the hook for Kurt Cignetti, but that's a fan base and that's a place in Bloomington that you have to overpay to have somebody. I think real quick, I want to get this off my chest. What upset me about this whole kind of Cajun Game of Thrones thing happening at LSU a couple weeks or last week, it feels like it was a month ago, was the fact that I thought LSU was one of those jobs in which, yes, you could actually have more of an incentive-based contract to lure somebody because it was such a good job, had everybody just been quiet about it. But now they just muddied up the water where it makes me think, is everybody really in line here? And again, if you go 9-3 at LSU and you make the college football playoff once every 4 years, people are going to be pissed off because they expect national championships out there.
Having grown up there, let me ask you this, because I've heard people here say LSU hiring the Tulane coach would be like Alabama hiring a UAB coach, which, by the way, never would happen. Is it viewed the same way in Louisiana, Tulane and LSU? Would they look down their nose at that, or is that people that are just trying to make what happens in Alabama the same thing in Louisiana?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a certain case. That's the reason why they didn't even give Billy Napier a sniff down the road at Lafayette. Like, we don't do that. And sure as hell, Scott Woodward was going to do that. He was big game hunting like he did with Jay Johnson and Kim Mulkey. But again, I think it also comes down to who is going to be better. And I don't know if Summerall's the guy, right? But I mean, is there a certain no-brainer, no-doubter? And I asked you guys this, y'all have had that question because I can't come up with it of going, you put this guy right here and he's going to succeed. We didn't know Saban was going to succeed coming from Michigan State. We didn't know that Les Miles and the grass eating. Remember the first game he had the Madonna mic from Oklahoma State, and that was weird. Like, that worked. Ogeron was, who knew? I mean, looked like a disaster after Ole Miss, and he found a way to work. Like, LSU almost back ends its way into the people that cultivate it to being a national championship team as opposed to needing a national championship coach.
There's never an easy game between LSU and Alabama, in my opinion. It's just where the two programs are. Your LSU team coming to play in Tuscaloosa this weekend. It seems like the excitement for this game is way down compared to the last 20 years. But LSU's path to victory, is there one in your opinion?
I mean, I don't see it. I mean, I can make a path for victory for Mississippi State over Georgia. I can make a path for Missouri over A&M this weekend, Kentucky over Florida. When we listed our best chances for upsets this weekend, and I had Alabama LSU, I think it was last on my list. And the reason why is because, like, let's go back to look at Alabama and Vanderbilt last year. That was an upset, but who was the more physical football team? It was Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt out-physicaled the hell out of them. LSU can't out-physical anybody right now. And that's a concern I have, is that you can upset people when you punch people in the mouth. Combine that with the fat guys that the whole, I mean, y'all might have to play left tackle for LSU this weekend in the amount of concerns that they have on that front. So I just don't see a path in which that happens. I think LSU comes out fiery. Frank Wilson's a Louisiana guy. There's got 50 guys on that roster. But at the end of the day, I trust Kalen DeBoer right now, and I think they're playing with as much confidence as anybody in the country.
He is Peter Burns. You will see him talking about the games in the studio Saturday on the SEC Network. Follow him on social media at Peter Burns ESPN. Hear him Sunday mornings on ESPN Radio. They do a tremendous job just recapping everything that happened on Saturday on ESPN Radio on your way to church or just out and about on Sunday. You can listen to Burnsy. Peter, thank you, man. Have a great week. Always fun talking to you, buddy.
Last thing, guys, I don't know if you guys have heard this from anybody. Lane Kiffin's a changed man since he went to Oxford. Just want to let you know, he's completely revamped his life over there. I don't think anybody said it out there, and I don't know if anybody has heard those rumors, but Lane Kiffin has changed the way he is in Oxford. Just making sure everybody knew that.
My prediction in all of this is he will be the highest paid coach in football. I don't know where he's going to be that, but he is going to be that.
Could be worse things to have in life.
There's no doubt. Yeah, see you, buddy.
He's changed, and then as soon as everyone says he's changed, he has a AI Bruce Pearl in her Auburn coaching gear tweet.
You can only change
and
so
I'm like,
much.
that's the same Lane Kiffin I know.
There's the guy there. Thank you, Burnsy. We'll see you, buddy. All right, Peter Burns with us on the Shannara hotline. Alabama Power wants to ask you this question. Is your power bill higher than expected? They don't want that. They want you to understand what you're getting charged, and changes in energy use, especially with the crazy weather we get around here, could be the reason your bill's too high. Check out Alabama Power's free My Power Usage tool. It helps you track how much energy you are using and when. It's a great way to spot patterns and avoid surprises. Plus, Alabama Power offers easy tips to help you save. Visit alabamapower.com/mypowerusage to learn how to manage your usage and keep cost in check.
Hey, and it doesn't matter if you're in your 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s. As men, we start to thin out. We start to lose that hair. You want to be preemptive. Get in front of this. Maintain what you've got. Grow some back. Our man, Dr. Beckenstein, he can help out with it. T3hair.net. That is the website you need to check out. T3's got that new test. It's easy, painless, affordable. Takes seconds to perform. Dr. B's been doing it for almost 25 years now. I do that non-invasive treatment 3 times a week, 30 minutes each time on the couch. That's it. Hair is more than doubled in thickness. Call Dr. Beckenstein and that great staff, 205-319-0316. Stop wasting money and critical time while you're losing hair on treatments that aren't working for you. Go see Dr. Beckenstein and that great staff. Find out what will work for you. 205-319-0316 or T3hair.net.
You heard Burnsy right there. Frank Wilson, a Louisiana guy, the interim head coach. 50 Louisiana players on that LSU team coming up to invade the pachyderms of Tuscaloosa, as Leonard's the Losers used to say. Can they pull the upset? Here's head coach Frank Wilson talking about being more physical with D.C. defensive coordinator Blake Baker.
And here's what I've said to him. You don't have to do it by yourself. We're a team. We're 3 phases of a football team. And the things that we need to do to allow our defense to get its swagger back, let's do those things. Let's incorporate these things into a practice setting. One of the things for him was, Coach, I need to see physicality in an inside run drill, if you will. You got it. We're doing it tomorrow. All right, so we'll get a little roughed up, if you will, and play inside run offense against defense so that we're given the best sample size It won't be a full-out scrimmage. We're not doing those things in season, but we're going to mix it up a little bit so we can see speed and physicality that when our defense sees it on Saturday, it's not shocking because of the look you've gotten all week has not been realistic.
Yeah, so I like that. It's away from the norm of some coaches now, being, occasionally around the Saban practices. You'd have a physical practice one time a week. Occasionally you have a bad, unfortunate injury that knocks somebody out for some times. But I think there is something important about, maybe it's not one-on-ones, but about giving a real firm, hard look at what you're going to see on Saturday. That's one change you see them making there.
I am fascinated to see which offense, if either, actually pops on Saturday. Auburn in Nashville against Vanderbilt now with an interim situation, and the same with LSU. And Frank Wilson is a well-respected guy in that state, former UTSA head coach. He was the Rivals National Recruiter of the Year multiple times. This guy can recruit. I think the guys internally love him, but I'm interested to see an offense that only scores 25 points per game with LSU, what they can do on the road, and the same with Auburn. Which do you guys think either one of those offenses looks, I don't want to say looks different, but has different results?
I think both of them do.
In a positive way.
I think both of them
can't go negative.
I think both go over what their average has been on the year.
I'm going to go opposite of Jim. I think neither of them do. I think both of them hit about their average. I think.
God, you've changed. You used to be so positive.
Damn, if LSU scored 26 plus on the road against Alabama, that's going to be a damn tight game.
Yeah. I mean, could you not see Alabama winning that game 38-31?
Well, that's a high-scoring game.
34.
That's a high-scoring game for those two.
It is.
What jumps out at me, though, is, and we see this all the time, it's not just Frank Wilson, the interim coach is always going to, at some point, tip his hand on what the rest of the staff thought the fired head coach was doing wrong.
Yeah,
exactly. I mean, they're always going to do it. Like, eventually, when they answer enough questions, they're always going to tip their hand on what the rest of the staff looked at the head coach and was like, why aren't we doing it
What
this
was
way?
DJ Durkin's? It was
the play calling.
Yeah.
Derek Nix is going to call all the plays.
Yeah. We're going to have one guy calling all the plays.
That's right. So you can tell DJ Durkin hated that setup. And you can tell Frank Wilson right there, like his coach was like, we'd really like our offense to do practice this way, but BK won't let us do it. So we do it now.
Another thing I took from that is that, and Alabama fans listen to this, I sort of felt like he was saying we're going to offensively call plays to play to our defense. If we are in a situation, we're not going to risk the biscuit a little bit here. We're going to try to play to our defense. That if we,
I think they've done that some this year.
You think they've been too conservative?
I don't know. It's just weird watching that LSU offense. It's just like a step off here and there, but it's been like that all year long.
I think the Jerry Neuheisel situation is, and by the way, that has played out. I mean, they couldn't sustain it. But the Jerry Neuheisel situations of the world are few and far between, where you just take a new play caller and all of a sudden he unlocks everything. Yeah. And now everything works. I mean, that just generally doesn't happen.
Our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama, before we get to the viewing menu, Urology Centers of Alabama, they're there for you, and they've been there for you for over 70 years. How about that? 7 decades plus now of the best urological care in the state of Alabama. You can find out that for yourself, like LT and I do. We use them. UrologyCentersAlabama.com, UrologyCentersAlabama.com to find one of 16 locations near you, and you can call to make an appointment, 205-930-0920. You say, Jim, what do they do? Well, they do it all for men and women, but specifically for men, prostate health. November is Prostate Health Awareness Month. Early detection literally saves lives, and you can stay on top of prostate health right there at UCA, 205-930-0920, UrologyCentersAlabama.com, and our friends at Michelson Laser Vision.
Yeah, 205-969-8100, the number I called way back in 2003. I wore contacts for about a decade. I was wasting money each and every year on the contacts and solution. Went in, got the procedure done. Didn't realize I had 2200 vision. Legally blind without the aid of contacts. After the procedure, 2015 vision, better than 2020. Dr. Mark Michelson, Dr. Jen Michelson, best in the business. Make the phone call that I made, 205-969-8100. Ask for Amy. Tell her the next round sent you, and she is going to hook you up with a hassle-free consultation. Zero to lose to find out if LASIK is right for you. For more information, MichelsonLaserVision.com.
All right, we've been getting a lot of great theatrical re-releases lately, and we've got another one tonight. It's Rocky IV, the director's cut. So this has 38 minutes of extra footage, and it also gets rid of some other stuff that was in the original Rocky IV, like Paulie's robot, and they extend some of the fight sequences to make them more serious, and it also has a more dramatic ending, supposedly.
I just don't know. More dramatic than spoiler alert, Rocky
Paulie's robot was
that
awful.
was the worst part of that movie, wasn't it? Yeah. I just don't know that you can appreciate Rocky IV if you weren't alive in that generation.
Tough to do, but
you had to know how big of a threat Russia felt to us.
Yeah, but I think kids that grow up with it now, because I've told you, like Jack loves the Rocky franchise, loves Creed, all that, but that's his second favorite of all these. How long's it out?
It should just be out for like the next week or so.
Okay.
And it's going to be limited theaters.
Okay, but we've got it around here?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I think it's at Patton Creek tonight.
Okay, might have to go see that. Not tonight.
Yeah, you know,
not tonight.
Got a little trivia.
And the opening is also altered to include more of Rocky III.
Just because that's a combat movie, I saw The Smashing Machine last night.
Oh, what'd you think?
I thought his performance was really, really good. I thought Emily Blunt's performance was really, really good. I thought the movie, for the first 90%, I was like, okay. And then it just becomes a dud, and you're like, why did they make a movie about this guy?
Yeah, it just kind of ended.
Did you see it?
Yeah. And
I'm like, Mark Kerr, like, I don't remember him. I'm sure I saw him fight 25 years ago, but why did they make a movie about him?
So he released his own memoirs, and they made a documentary also called The Smashing Machine, where Mark Kerr was very open about his struggles with drug addiction and steroids, and that got a lot of really good reviews. So then they just put The Rock in that role, and I think it kind of ended up feeling like a dud because The Rock can't be authentic in any way, because Mark Kerr is very open about his steroid use, and The Rock is all
I never
natural.
thought about that angle, but I mean, there's a million stories that are more interesting than Mark Kerr's to me, at least the way they played it out. And I was like, I don't understand why they made a movie about this guy.
I'm not sure why.
But I thought The Rock did a really good job with it.
Yeah, it's probably
It looks
his
like he knows
best
how to use those
acting.
needles.
Yeah.
No.
He's got experience. Tubi has announced that they are adding Bad Boys 1 and 2 to their catalog, and those are just good rainy day, stay inside movies.
Great
So
franchise.
You can watch them for free on Tubi. And then finally, the new Predator movie comes out this weekend, so Hulu has Prey if you want to watch that and prepare for Predator Badlands.
I think Prey is the next best outside of Predator. I like the animated one we saw. This one doesn't look that good, though. I don't think.
It looks all right at best.
Was Predator like cloning gone wrong or something?
No, Predator was and they've really taken the universe to another level, and Jeeves probably can explain it better, but basically they go to different universes to hunt. And so, Prey goes back to the indigenous. I forgot, what the year was on it. But, the original Predator, Predator runs into special forces, I don't know, a band of mercenaries, because it was Carl Weathers, it was Arnold Schwarzenegger, it was Jesse the Body. I forgot what the crazy Indian's name was. But, yeah, that's all Predator is coming down from space and hunting.
That is our viewing menu, brought to you by Michelson. Let's do our Bojangles Tender Moment of the Day, brought to you by our friends at Bojangles.
You can always make a bow time at Bojangles, lunch, dinner, breakfast tomorrow, but also the high school football tailgates for the playoffs, the college football watch parties or tailgates. Bojangles can do that for you. Make it bow time. Those hand-breaded chicken tenders with a great size and the dipping sauces, always there for you to enhance that football weekend. Be it lunch, be it dinner, be it breakfast tomorrow morning, or your football weekend, make it bow time.
Tom Brady has cloned his dog, Lua, who died in 2023. Junie is his new pup, and it's a clone from the dog that he loved. He owns the company, part owner of the company that did the cloning, $50,000 to clone your dog and basically keep it rolling on. You got thoughts?
Yeah, I've got I think everybody's got a lifetime dog. And my lifetime dog, I don't think Bullet and Chili are listening. They might be, though. Lady Bird. But I would never clone a dog.
It's just playing God.
Yeah, it really is. And I mean, what is the next step? Really is cloning humans. We've got a shelf life. It's one of the more difficult things for people to ever accept is death. It sucks.
But we start cloning humans, we've crossed the line. We can never go back.
I think we've crossed the line.
Probably something I should tell you guys.
I think we've
I'm older than I look.
But if we cross the line with cloning a dog, we have. I mean, it's not the same soul of your dog. I'd be very interested to see.
So it just has all the genetic material. It doesn't develop the same personality.
So that's stupid.
So you want to clone, say you would clone ladybirds because you want another ladybird. It's not going to be ladybird.
Have you heard the Rogan podcast with a guy that's cloning?
Yeah, Brady got it done at the same company.
Oh, did he? I didn't know that.
The Direwolf company.
So Direwolf, that's it. So they're talking about bringing back the woolly mammoth and all those things.
I've seen that.
All right. But he said this is what was fascinating to me. They cloned animals that had been extinct for a very long time, and they immediately had the same survival instincts that their instinct ancestors had.
Well, that's because you're getting the DNA, though, right?
Yeah, but that's learned instinct. That doesn't come in your DNA. That's just learned instinct.
Well, some people say that the same reason for that is the same reason that little kids are afraid of monsters in the closet because you're tapping into that very early genetic instinct of survival. You've got to
I think Animal Kingdom
from the thing.
You've got that natural instinct already.
Why are dogs domesticated, even as puppies when they're born?
Well, they're not. You got to teach them not to piss and poop inside.
Yeah, but they're not out to eat us.
Why are you teaching them how to do that inside?
That's where my dog goes. I hate to tell you, it's a 5 pound
dog. There are
dog.
certain animals that are extinct for a reason, right? We're not supposed to bring these things back.
Well, but that what was crazy.
By
is
the way, I don't know if you've seen
guy,
Pet Cemetery, but the original, you bring Gage back, it didn't work out for anybody.
Yeah, the direwolf guy said the woolly mammoth is, I think it's the Asian gray elephant, is 99.5% woolly mammoth.
Okay, so why do we need to bring back that 0.5?
I don't know. But I'm just saying, you think of a woolly mammoth, you're like, well, we don't have anything like that. And he's like, actually, the Asian elephant is the woolly mammoth. I mean, he only, all he doesn't have is the woolly outer coat.
Yeah, I mean, the only blueprints I've seen are Pet Cemetery and Jurassic Park, and both go off the rails.
Yeah.
I'd leave it alone. And again, I love dogs as much as anybody, but there's
your tender moment.
It's next step.
Yeah, Tom Brady maybe pulling down some dead wood there, cloning his dog. Grace Trees Service can take care of the dead wood in your yard. Give us a little conversation about Grace Tree Service.
Yeah, look, founded over 30 years ago, family-owned, community-based, Bessemer, Birmingham. I've been to the timber yard. It is fantastic, fascinating. Free estimates on all services. They've got over 80 employees licensed and insured, from the removal, the trimming, the health. You care for your lawn, care for your trees as well. For more information, you can call 205-255-1239. If you need something extracted from your lot, you don't want dead trees there. It can cause a lot of property damage. You can scan that QR code for more information, or just visit grazetree.com.
Follow LT on Twitter @TheLanceTaylor.
Yo, kinfolk, what's good, man? Let me holler at you for a minute. You know how life can be life. You're out there chasing that dollar. Every dollar is accounted for going somewhere. Then all of a sudden, bam! Out of nowhere, a car accident. All I had to do was hit up my people at Alexander Shannara Trial Attorney. You already know when that dude Alex pulls up the trial, he shuts down the litigation situation. Yo, go to Shannara.com. Hit him up at 659-777-7777.
Call me, Alabama.
No representation and legal services provided are better than any other provider.
What are you waiting for? It's non-stop gaming action at Birmingham Racecourse Casino. Come play more than 900 of the latest and greatest games around, featuring fun bonuses and big jackpots. You can wager and win on horse and greyhound races from all over the world. There are more ways to win at Birmingham Racecourse Casino. Birmingham Racecourse Casino, located off I-459 exit 31 Derby Parkway. Must be 21 or older.
Sterling and the fine folks at Champy's Chicken on Highway 119 in Alabaster want to welcome you in for a great lunch or dinner starting at 11 a.m. every day. Chicken that's brined overnight and cooked to order, and the taste of the Delta with those Delta recipe tamales. Champy's is perfect for all your tailgating needs this football season. You can also choose Champy's for your next party, wedding, or birthday. Great food, great people. Champy's Chicken on Highway 119 in Alabaster, and everything online at champyschicken.com.
At Central State Bank, we are large enough to serve you and small enough to know you. Manage your money with ease, whether it's mobile banking, hassle-free checking, competitive loans, business solutions, or personalized financial advice. We're your hometown bank with big-time service. Visit us today and experience banking made simple, because at Central State Bank, you come first.
Member FDIC.
Catch up on all of today's Next Round on demand through the podcast platform of your choice. Apple, Spotify, iHeart, or Google Podcasts. Wherever you listen, always like, follow, subscribe, and turn on automatic downloads so you never miss any part of the Next Round.
Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Hemp Hill Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Hemp Hill are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Hemp Hill Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Hemp Hill Services. Call now, 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090.
Remember the name Way to Wellness if you're battling weight loss in your life. I'm Jim Dunaway from the Next Round. There was a time I was over 216 pounds until Way to Wellness helped me lose 45 pounds, and now for over 2 years, they've helped me keep that weight off. Here's their website, aplanforme.com, aplanforme.com. That's a great name for a website because there's no cookie-cutter plan. Everything is designed specifically for you. No contract, no sign-up fees, and your first consultation is free at Way to Wellness.
Get all your favorite Next Round gear all in one place, nextround.store. From our Next Round hats to the logo tees to the all-time best-selling Y'all Can Have the Rest shirt, you can look your best by shopping with us at nextround.store. Take the Next Round anywhere with nextround.store.
It's bow time. Tired of choosing between sweet and savory? Why not have both? Introducing Bojangles' new chicken and bowberry waffles. The bold Cajun chicken filet you love, now drizzled with a bowberry honey glaze and sandwiched between two warm waffles. Which means your favorite meal of the day just met your new favorite dish. And lucky for you, it's served all day. But it's only here for a limited time, so try chicken and bowberry waffles at Bojangles today. It's bow time.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, the Next Round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
This hour 2 of the Next Round on this Wednesday, November the 5th. We'll get to a lot of college football and some dollars and no cents version of college football with my buddy Dabo Swinney. After I remind you, our friends at Walk-Ons are there for every game day and every post-win celebration, even if it's just like your kickball team wins. Go to Walk-Ons for a great celebratory drink after a win or after work.
Three straight nights, by the way.
What now?
3 straight nights at Walk-Ons.
3 straight nights at Walk-Ons. My buddies post golf. Everybody went there last night. I didn't make it with them. They texted me and said, LT's at the end of the bar right here. You should have come with us. Should have come with us.
Well, nobody said hello.
You probably don't know them. Take the family there for the made from, as I get back to the script, take the family there made from scratch favorites. Walk-Ons is your go-to for good times and wall-to-wall TVs, craft beer, cocktails, and bold flavors for the fans of all ages, from melty mozzarella logs to the Hall of Fame level burgers. Stop by today or order online or in the app. Walk-On, Sports Bistro, Trustful, Greystone, and Stadium Trace. It's game on at Walk-Ons. Back to the games on the field, including Ty Simpson's November mentality on the big Alabama game in a second. But first, Dabo Swinney, who got fined $10,000, 23 years? How long has he been at Clemson?
2008 was.
I thought 10
Tommy
was his
Bowden.
first
No,
year.
2008 was when Alabama beat Tommy Bowden. He got fired mid-season.
So 2009.
So 9
It is indeed 23 years.
How about that?
Yeah.
That is crazy. He's been in that long.
23 years for Dabo Swinney. One fine ever, and it was this week, $10,000 from the ACC from commenting on officials.
Which I thought would be a heftier fine, by the way, criticizing officials.
So in his latest news conference, we'll see if this becomes a fine. Now, this is about probably a 6-minute answer, Forrester. Is that fair? 6 minutes in its original form that you chop down and send out at Next Round Live, as you do on our social media platform. Such great work. You cut it down to 3 minutes there. This is a shorter version of the shorter version, correct?
Yes, this is about half of the half that I put out on social.
So a quarter of the original statement. But in this, Dabo Swinney is still talking about specifics on college, and this is a big. I mean, Auburn fans, I think, would listen into this. This is big picture stuff here on college football officiating and how they should be held accountable and how they're not held accountable. And in the process, he talks about gambling, almost insinuating that maybe some officials could have money on games because they're humans too. So here is Dabo Swinney's. You can see the entire version at the Clemson website, a bigger version or a lesser version at Next Round Live, and this is a USA Today version right now.
In this coaches get crucified, fined, players get crucified, held to this unrealistic accountability standard, but refs have zero accountability. Well, they do, but it's behind a curtain. They get to go home and drink a beer and get on with their life and just leave the carnage left behind that affects a lot of people losing jobs. Like the NFL, they're not part-time refs. Like they need to be full-time refs, and it needs to be a job. And there needs to be one leader and one voice, and that's what it should be, number one. And then there should be public accountability, period. In the meantime, we got gambling issues going on, people being suspended, all that kind of stuff, right? Yep. I mean, refs are people too. It ain't just coaches and players, and if they're a part of the game, then by God, they ought to be a part of the game. And they ought to be a part of the accountability, and they ought to be a part of the consequences, not just behind some shadowy curtain. Like, no, they ought to have to answer for it.
Is that you or the school?
I'm sure they'll just take it out of my check, but I think I'm just going to get some pennies and just mail them in a box. That's what I'm going to do.
Thank you, Coach.
23 years.
Thank you, Coach.
All right.
That would be Dabo.
Y'all have a great day.
Mr. Petty.
But I don't think he was saying the gambling thing. I think.
Yeah, I don't either.
He said it was gambling and all that.
Yeah. But unless it was brought up on that play, because that would be a serious allegation.
I don't think he was saying the refs. I think he was saying everybody's being held accountable for everything. We got gambling in sports. We got this. The refs need to be held accountable. I don't think he was.
No, he wasn't saying that particular play, but he's saying the refs need to be held accountable. We've got gambling and everything involved in the game now. They can be influenced for calls. And in the longer version, he talks about another game where they are only allowed to send in 10 plays. He wanted to send in 14, so he sent all 10 in, and it came back 5-10. He did all that. The first thing, just facts. I don't think the NFL are full-time officials now, are they?
They work other jobs.
They work other jobs. So they're not full-time officials.
Yeah,
they're just facts.
Yeah.
And I hear this said a lot. College football is such big money, we need full-time officials.
I believe that.
That should be their full-time job.
I do believe that.
You believe that?
Well, I think it's gotten so big. I think the NFL and certain leagues like the SEC and Big Ten, it's big enough.
You guys say it all the time. NFL is the best business model in sports.
Yes.
They do not have full-time officials.
They don't. I think they should too. I think it's a mistake.
But they don't. And
I know, but it's
don't.
a mistake.
And you have a lot of days where you're not working at that point.
But they are so much better than any league official.
See, that thought process is the problem. You shouldn't have days where you're not working. Those guys, it should be 24/7, 365. This one should be a full-time job.
Watching film,
they'd be better
conversations on how to get better. But let me say that.
Wait. I got one number fact here I'm making. Major League Baseball. Do you know the salaries for Major League Baseball umpires?
I think the minimum for a guy breaking in is somewhere around $250 a year. Am I right with that?
$150,000 breaking in.
Yeah.
But they up to $450,000.
Right. Yep. Their travel is where they make bank.
Okay. So, but this is their salary is $150 to $450. So if we go full-time officials, we just go in the middle of that, $300,000, because you're not going to pay anybody, $80,000 and there'll be a full-time official. So just $250,000, $300,000. That's in the middle of what the Major League Baseball guys get. I mean, because you're not going to get good human beings, right, that are good at their job, unless you're paying them a decent wage as a full-time official, right?
I would make the comparison, Jim, and I know you. So I'm guessing you've done what it would cost the SEC here.
Well,
Let's do the cost analysis.
Just a 7-person crew for 8 crews, and that's everybody. And you're going to need more than 8 crews when we're not playing conference games, right? Because we've got out-of-conference games, and sometimes you're going to need more than 8 crews. But just with 8 crews, with 4 alternates, 7-person crews. That is $18 million a year.
In officiating?
Just in officiating salaries.
Yeah.
That's $18 million a year just for the SEC, just for 8 crews, which isn't enough to do all your games a year. And it would be more for the ACC. It would be more for the Big 12 because you'd need more crews for bigger conferences, and it would be equal to that in the Big 10. So that's each conference.
How many are in a game right now? How many officials?
7 a game.
But you did the alternates too, right?
I had 4 alternates, which isn't enough.
So that's 11 a game?
That's 4 alternates for the entire league.
For the entire league, okay.
Yeah, so 56, 8 crews, 7. That's 56 people. Add 4 alternates. I went with 60 officials, which isn't enough. And that's $18 million just in salaries.
That's a lot. It's 2 head coaches.
Lance is off.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
I'm going to guess.
That's a football team. That's another football program.
I'm going to guess you're paying about $7 million a year right now. Okay, so here's what I did.
So you think we're paying $7 million to official salaries?
Hey, listen to me.
Okay.
$7 million or 7 officials. I'm going to go 10 a game, $10,000 a game. Don't you think an official probably makes $10,000 a game?
I do not.
What do you think an official makes?
Less than that. I think they make at most 5 a game.
All right, I can find that out.
Yeah.
So that's $35,000 a game, and if you do an 8-game conference weekend, that's $280,000 times 13 of those would be $3.6 million. Now I did more than that. That's where I got $7 million. I did $10,000.
I don't think that's that big of a deal.
I mean, $3.6 million. Now you've got a $15 million increase.
I mean, look, we want
$18 million.
We want a better television product, and they're the ones that are footing the bill anyway.
Is there just a chance that it's a hard game to officiate?
It is a hard game to officiate,
right?
Yeah.
And that our television coverage has gotten to the point where, and by the way, the easiest excuse since 1955 or 1855 has always been blame the officials or the umpires in basketball, baseball, football. Is it not just that our athletes have gotten so good that the rules are designed for a gray area on pass interference? If we really called pass interference the way the rule is designed, we would get pass interference on almost every passing play.
You're right, but the play that's got Dabo so wound up here, everybody saw. Can you explain to me why we don't have somebody that buzzes down and is like, hey, I don't know if you saw what you thought you saw. If you'll go to the monitor and look, we'll see if it stands or not.
That's that super challenge.
That's right. That's a cheaper solution,
I
which
agree
we've
with
gotten
you.
in the spring league. Dabo brought it up as well. We need at least one challenge.
Yeah, so
you
Dabo-
challenge anything, whether it's a holding penalty or what.
Boy, if you've used the challenge earlier in the game, you're going to kick yourself. But, yeah, if Dabo had a challenge, if he could throw it. And I think the ref that made the call, the guy that throws the flag, is not the head ref. The guy that throws the flag, he's the one that goes in the monitor. And he's like, that is not what I thought I saw when I threw the flag.
Well, it's the collaboration. I mean,
that's fine.
Everybody is, I think, misunderstood, too. The guy that goes look at the monitor, he solely is making that decision. That is not the case.
But I'm talking about a subjective call like pass interference or something like that, where the ref can go and say, I mean, I'll give you an example. I don't want to make it about the Dolphins because nobody cares about the Dolphins. But if you watch the Thursday night game the other night that the Dolphins played against the Ravens, Ollie Gordon is going out to make a block. He loses his footing and he falls. And when he does, his leg comes up. They called him for tripping. Didn't touch the guy, right? Herbstreit goes crazy. I can't remember who the official guy that comes on with him is. He's like, yeah, that is a terrible miss. Why can you not stop that and say, hey, I know what you thought you saw, but I don't think that's what happened here.
Well, and for the record, the ACC has done the best job of the transparency with what we're getting to see going back to ACC headquarters.
But you guys do, y'all bitch and moan sometimes about stoppage of play.
Oh, no, it's terrible. But it doesn't have to be that, like what they call replay assist has helped that a ton in the NFL.
Yeah, the ACC seems to be pretty quick with this, too. I mean, that's one thing that I would say. Back to the transparency, I think, is very, very important.
100%.
But I wanted to bring this up. I think there are fewer examples. Like, I don't know where Dabo's going on this, on people manipulating outcomes of games because we have controlled gambling now. The old school where somebody would run a $30,000 tab with the local bookmaker, those days aren't around anymore. Like, people are monitored. Everything is on the phone. You can only gamble and lose what you've got.
Yeah.
So that's why I think we're in a much better place.
Yeah, I know. I agree with you on that.
I do too.
But I would say with where I think Dabo is correct is at the end of that game, if the Clemson media is like, hey, we'd like to talk to the head ref, why does that guy not go in front of the microphone and they can say, hey, that last play at the end, can you guys Can you just walk me through what y'all saw?
Yeah, because it could be what LT said on our show yesterday. It could be, hey, the flag, I was throwing it. It just takes a while as a human to get the flag in my back pocket.
The first 5 yards.
Yeah, the first 5 yards.
Yeah, he rode him all the way down the field.
All the way down the field.
Y'all don't see that on the replay.
To your point, athletes are bigger and faster, hard to officiate, but it seems like every 2 or 3 games, major college football, there is an egregious call. And when you watch the NFL, there's just not a lot of those.
And
I just think they do a much better job.
And when the ref screws up, he's right. The guy does, he goes back. And I'm sure it bothers the ref. These guys are human. They know they screwed up. I'm sure it bothers them. But the only way you ever hear about anything is when Ken Williamson gets fired. And you know who hadn't said a word about that?
The SEC.
Yeah, that was all a report from Yellowhammer News that had a source that broke the story. And then when, the Chris Lowe's and Mark Schleyballs and Pete Thamel started digging, they were like, yeah, they got that right.
Yeah, but also Dabo doesn't bring up, and I'm not criticizing Dabo because I think he's I consider him a friend. But Dabo doesn't think about also that those officials don't go back and have no repercussions.
No,
I've known 2
right.
or 3 officials whose kids have gotten death threats over calls that their dads made.
Yeah. No, he's wrong about that.
Their kids have had to live with it in their local school.
Who got flagged more on Saturday, Duke or Clemson?
I don't know.
I don't know. I just know the one that mattered the most.
Duke did. I'm just saying. I mean, they got flagged 9 times, and you're right. I mean, the one that really stands out is obviously going to be the final.
Auburn shot 39 free throws the other night to Bethune-Cookman's 9 or something like
38 to 9.
Yeah, it's just it's an easy excuse when you lose the game to say it's officiating. And there are bad calls that are made, but there is so much gray area in pass interference. Like, to me, there's not as much gray area on whether or not Jackson Arnold broke the plane or not. There's a line that you can see, and there's a ball. And if the ball breaks the plane, it's a touchdown.
Yeah.
That's easy. Pass interference, there's so much nuance in that. If you buy the rule of the book, it's pass interference every time.
Yeah.
Because it's hand fighting and he's touching him. Okay, now I can put my arm on his back as long as I don't spin him. It's not pass interference, but I can wrap my arm around him so that I'm still engaged.
Yeah, you're right. It's block charge.
It is.
It's a 50-50 call.
And so half of the stadium or half of the viewers are going to be upset with the call. That's pass interference. No, it's not. It's not pass interference. So we're always going to bitch about it. That's part of sports.
Yeah. No, I mean, I agree with you. I think where Dabo's right is there needs to be a little more transparency. I think the ACC's done a great job of that on the replay. But
everyone will have that next year.
You have to. I don't know how you don't. I don't know how bad it would have made the SEC look on the Auburn-Georgia game, though, Lance.
Bad.
I mean, that would have been a pretty bad. I would have had technical difficulties right there. Well, we can't hear the replay center for some reason.
Where would you guys, do you think next year we'll have a super challenge is what they call it in the UFL?
I don't know about that. I do think a step in the right direction is doing more of the transparency like the ACC. I love it. I mean, I think it would be perfect. You get one a game.
I like.
And how about this? How about wiping 2 timeouts out if you don't get your super challenge?
Dang,
right?
Lance, that's a penalty.
I know, but if you're going to use it, it needs to be big.
I think I like the sky judge.
How exciting would that be, though? Hey, man, they're using a super challenge.
Oh yeah, they could lose both their time. If they lose these timeouts, the game's over. I like the sky judge concept better than I do the super challenge.
Do you?
Yeah.
That's only $2 more million a year, so why not? Actually, probably $4 more million a year.
But I think the concept of it's a better concept. You disagree? Where I got a guy that's removed from the fast action, he's got immediate access to the replays. He can look and say, "Yeah, we missed that one."
Yeah.
And guys, we missed that one.
Pick up the flag, not pass interference.
Yeah, it's not pass interference.
Yeah.
Wave it off.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I like that now.
He's not watching the game. He's judging it just off the TV screen.
That's right. There's a little bit of, the man behind the curtain in that, too. We got this guy that's, he's removed from the game, and he's playing God over what gets called and what doesn't get called.
And then you know what will happen on Monday? After we start using those, people will be grappling about the super judge overruling that touchdown for Auburn.
We're going to bitch.
It's going to get complained about no matter what you do.
Hey, show being brought to you by our friends at Company Distilling. No complaints there.
No. Our friends at Company Distilling. We got some big announcements coming up in the next couple of weeks from Company Distilling, but you can scan the QR code you're about to see. We've got a big giveaway coming up. But the big news is Company Distilling is available at ABC stores across the state of Alabama. If you've been waiting to try whiskey as good as the company you keep, this
is your moment. The man behind the bottle is Jeff Arnett, master distiller at Company Distilling, former master distiller of Jack Daniels. Get into local package store, convenience store, ask for it by name if they don't have it. Tell them to get it. Not only available in Alabama, Colorado, Florida, Georgia, Missouri, Oklahoma, South Carolina, Tennessee, and Texas. For more information, CompanyDistilling.com/Alabama.
Hey, and before we get to our 4 downs right here in this segment, our friends at Way to Wellness brings you a jump start to your weight loss. If you're just sitting around and you're like, man, I'd love to get up off this couch, but I need somebody to jump start me. Well, here I am, Jim Dunaway for Way to Wellness. Planforme.com, who is a website from Leslie and her board-certified team. What they offer you at Way to Wellness is a unique design plan specifically for you, no cookie-cutter plan. And whether it's injection therapy, meal replacement, protein bars to keep from bad snacking, or anything in between those, Way to Wellness can help you start that weight loss journey. In fact, they've got special diets to help with your sleep apnea and other things. If you're a diabetic, they got some wonderful plans for you there as well. All right there at planforme.com. No contracts, no sign-up fees. First consultation is free. It's Way to Wellness, your journey to healthy living. Let's do 4 downs.
First down.
So more teams ultimately in the college football playoff. The combination of the Big 12 and ACC or Big 10? I think I know y'all's answer
I'll
here.
go Big 10. I mean, it's entirely possible the combo Big 12 ACCs too.
It could be 2, max 3.
Max 3.
Yeah,
and I think the Big 10 is max 3. Or minimum 3.
Do you think there's a chance, though? I mean, what would it take for the Big 10 to only get 2?
Never. Never.
What was it you were told? We clone a human? And everybody's like, we're going to war.
Yeah.
We're not playing the college football playoff.
I mean,
We're going to
The
war
SEC
instead.
and the Big 10 will never have less
But
than
let me
3.
ask you, is there a scenario where you've got Ohio State, Indiana undefeated, and then every other team's at least got 3 losses?
It doesn't matter. We will put a 3rd Big 10 team in.
Okay.
Yeah. No, they'll never be less than 3 from the SEC or the Big 10.
That's my point.
Yeah.
It's their party.
Yeah.
Last year was the minimum number of SEC teams that will ever be in a 12-team playoff.
Second down.
And just wait till we have a 16-team playoff.
Current top 5 team in the playoff rankings, best chance of missing the playoff.
In the top?
Boy, it's
I mean,
not
you got
Ohio-
3 undefeated
it's
at
not
the
Ohio
top, and
State
then
or
you've got
Indiana.
1 loss Alabama and 1 loss Georgia.
So in the top 12, did you say?
Top 5.
I'll
five.
go Georgia.
Oh.
I'll go Georgia. I could see Georgia could see this happening, losing 2 of these 3 games this weekend at State,
Texas
at home, and Georgia Tech at Mercedes-Benz. That I could see. I don't think it'll happen, but that's to me the most difficult slate of games of anyone involved.
Yeah, I
in
mean,
this.
look, I mean, they're sweating balls if they lose this weekend.
No doubt.
Alabama could lose to LSU and or Oklahoma, and then Auburn's a rivalry game, but you could lose both to LSU and Oklahoma, absolutely.
Yeah, A&M plays Texas. I'm trying. Who else does A&M play? You have it in front of you?
They do play Texas. I do have.
They
it
got
in front of me.
Missouri this weekend, which everybody's just
Oh,
scoffing
no.
over.
That's in Columbia.
Texas
Yeah.
A&M at Missouri, South Carolina at Texas. I mean, technically they could lose all 3.
Do you think that's a tougher grouping of games or Georgia's? Which Georgia's is State on the road.
I
Texas
think
at home.
Alabama's tougher than A&M's. Georgia's at Mississippi State, Texas at Georgia Tech. I'd go Georgia, Alabama, A&M.
Wait, you think Alabama's is tougher than A&M?
I don't know if I agree with you on that. I don't know if I agree with that.
Backup quarterback at Missouri, South Carolina with Lenore Sellers and company. And
But I
then
mean,
at
South
Texas.
Carolina and Auburn are equivalent, right?
No, South Carolina is so much better than Auburn.
Well, the Auburn game's complicated by the fact that
we planned that, right?
Right.
It's a Jordan Hare Iron Bowl. Is the
Which, by the way, I just defeated my purpose there because I said Alabama's tougher than A&M.
I know, and then you made a case for South Carolina being better than Auburn.
But it's at Jordan Hare Stadium where Auburn has won
superpowers
2 SEC games in the last 2 years.
yeah, but they got superpowers when it comes to this game.
Third down.
Next down. Let's go team outside of the top 20 with the best chance to make the playoffs. So starting at Iowa, a lot of Big Ten there. Iowa, Michigan, Missouri, Washington, Pittsburgh, Tennessee. Leave the Group 5 out. Of course, if you guys think you've got that figured out, I guess you can go ahead and shoot.
I'm sorry. I'm going to need you to repeat the question because I wanted to check. Auburn's 2-9 at home in SEC play under Hugh Freeze. Is that correct? Did I write that right?
Yeah, that's right.
2-9 at home. They've beaten Texas A&M and
Mississippi State.
Is that the one?
Yeah, it was last year. You tell me.
Yeah.
Is that right? 2-9? Does that sound right for us?
Yeah, that's right.
At Jordan Hare Stadium?
Because his win this year is Arkansas in Fayetteville.
Yeah.
Let me do some research here.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm saying that almost sarcastically. I rarely write down
I think
wrong
it's 2-9 the
stats.
last 2 years. He might have scraped one or two.
Last 11 SEC games at home.
No,
2-9.
that's right.
2-9,
Okay, so team
Tough place to play.
outside of the top 20 with
This
the
is
best
easy.
chance of making the playoffs. So we start Iowa, Michigan, Missouri, Washington, Pittsburgh, Tennessee, and then anybody after.
I think I'll go Pittsburgh because I think Pittsburgh of that group has the best chance of making their conference championship game because they are only 5-1 in conference. Pittsburgh is, so they're right in the thick of the ACC now. I don't know how all these tiebreakers are going to fall out. Excuse me, but Pitt could make the conference championship game. Then you got one game to get an auto win.
Yeah, I don't think Washington, like Damon Williams is going to be really, really good. And then on a given weekend, he can be really, really elite. This weekend, if they get past Wisconsin, and that sounds stupid.
No, I almost took Wisconsin's upset alert.
But then you got Purdue and UCLA, and then it becomes a one-game situation where Oregon goes to Seattle, which is such a good home field. And I believe in that situation, Oregon, depending on how they play, right now would only be like a 3.5 point favorite. Washington's got an outstanding chance of winning the rest of their games. And if you guys really believe that we're going to have this Big Ten influence at 10-2 with losses to Ohio State and at Michigan, how do you keep them out?
Yeah, you don't. I do believe one of these, USC, Iowa, Michigan, and Washington, makes the playoffs.
Yeah, I do too. And I think the next, again, I'm going to continue to say this. If USC does what they should do on Friday night, if Iowa, Oregon winner, then it's going to come down to USC against Iowa or USC against Oregon. So we're going to have a little round-robin tournament coming up over the next 3 weeks, but it's going to be fun to watch.
Yeah, it is fun.
And I don't think any of those teams, I mean, Oregon could ultimately be really good. I think USC is okay. And I think Iowa's okay as well.
I understand your Pitt argument, Brown. I just don't think it happens. But
I don't know that
the
it
path
does.
is easier because they can.
That's right.
They can get there and win their way in. They don't have to.
Right now, the tiebreaker, I don't know. I've not looked at ACC tiebreakers by any stretch, but they could fall in their way that they're actually in the conference championship game as we stand right now. But I don't know that to be factual. But if they're a one-loss ACC team, there's a good shot they're in the conference championship game.
Yep. Is that 4?
That was 4?
Yeah.
Fourth down.
I thought it was 3, yeah.
Bryan Adams, the Canadian singer, let me get this out.
Summer of 69.
Is 66, not the summer of 69.
You said Bryan Adams?
Bryan Adams. I thought Bryan Adams, I thought that was Don Henley. No, that was Boys Summer.
Boys of Summer.
Yeah,
No,
you're
Summer
right.
69 is Bryan Adams.
Bryan Adams, 66, the Canadian rock star. Jason Kelsey, 38. Ultimately better career.
I think I go with Jason Kelsey here. I mean, he's going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer. Jason Kelsey. Well, he still may be. Jason Kelsey was one of the best centers ever to play. You didn't say Travis. You said Jason.
I said
right?
Jason,
Okay.
I think some would say that Jason is closer to best center of all time than Travis is to best tight end of all time.
I think you're probably right about that. Jason's widely regarded.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think both are considered top 5.
Yeah.
Oh, are they really that high?
Probably.
I was going top 10, yeah.
So top 5, it's going to be hard to do top 5 centers. I mean, Dwight Stevenson was very well respected.
Mike Webster.
Kelsey's certainly in that conversation. Top 5 tight ends, though, you would go Gonzalez.
I mean, Antonio
Gronk.
Gates, but I'm really high Gronk.
I mean, you got to go Tony Gonzalez.
Oh, yeah, Tony Gonzalez,
Gronk,
and
Gates
are for sure in front. But then,
Jason,
Ozzie Newsome.
Jason Witten. He wouldn't be in front of Kelsey, would
I
he?
don't think so, no.
I don't think so. He's a Hall of Famer, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no, Kelsey's a Hall of Famer.
Both Kelseys will be Hall of Famers,
Yeah.
but Bryan Adams, for whatever it's worth, is Hall of Famer, and he has got 25 top 15 singles. I mean, that's...
Summer of 69, Cuts Like a Knife?
Cuts Like a Knife, Run to You, Heaven.
Oh, Run to You.
Everything I Do for You?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Straight from the Heart.
Yeah. Brian, that's
some of those love songs. But, I mean, Run to You is a good song.
I think I'll go Bryan Adams.
All my favorites of Bryan Adams, not that I'm a huge classic rock guy, Run to You. I mean, you cannot not sing along to Summer of 69.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan.
No, I mean, he's got
and
some...
Cuts Like a Knife.
I mean, and look, this one's really cheesy. The Three Musketeer, Have You Ever Really Loved a Woman? But that was number 1.
Yeah. I mean, when you're running around in those tights, though, that's a fair question. That is 4 Downs, brought to you today in part by our friends at Woodhouse Day Spa. Tell us about Woodhouse Day Spa.
It is the gift of relaxation. Look, as guys, we love to procrastinate, and we want to wait till the last minute to get that gift, but you can get it right here online. Not only for mom, for your grandmother, your niece. I mean, anybody out there, get it for yourself. Guys love the gift of relaxation too. Stop into the Summit Shopping Centers. Go see our friend Stuart and that great staff. Beautiful location up there, newly renovated over the last year. Or you can go online, birmingham.woodhousespas.com. You can order the gift card, let them choose from a menu of over 70 options, including the nail services, waxing, skincare, body treatments, massages. It's America's best day spa, voted that since 2009. Again, order online, birmingham.woodhousespas.com.
Follow Scott Forrester on Twitter at Scott Forrester TV.
Yo, kinfolk, what's good, man? Let me holler at you for a minute. You know how life can be life. You're out there chasing that dollar. Every dollar is accounted for going somewhere. Then all of a sudden, bam! Out of nowhere, a car accident. All I had to do was hit up my people at Alexander Shannara Trial Attorney. You already know when that dude Alex pulls up the trial, he shuts down the litigation situation. Yo, go to Shannara.com. Hit him up at 659-777-7777.
Call me, Alabama.
No representation that legal services provided are better than any other provider.
To everyone who craves a fresh meal made just for you, let our team member Jacob share what's special about Culver's.
In Wisconsin, our food comes from the heart, and taking the time to handcraft your meal with care is how we've always done it at Culver's. It's why your Butterburger doesn't touch the grill until after you order.
Come to Culver's and let us serve you a Butterburger, made special just for you. From Wisconsin with love, welcome to Delicious.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the next round to tell you about my friends at Michelson Laser Vision, located conveniently UAB Highlands. Almost 20 years ago, I went in for the procedure. Only took 12 minutes for both eyes. When I went in, I had 2200 vision. I was legally blind. Now I have 20/15 vision, still 19 years later. Make the call today. Schedule a hassle-free consultation. 969-8100. Dr. Mark Michelson, Dr. Jen Michelson, Michelson Laser Vision. Make sure you tell them the next round sent you. 969-8100 or MichelsonLaserVision.com. Hey, let me tell you about our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama. Compassionate and comprehensive urological care with 35 physicians, 17 locations across Alabama. Their patient-centered approach to all of your urological needs. Remember, they've got that new men's health center. It is beautiful, helping men with a wide range of sensitive male issues in a comfortable environment. You can always go online, visit urologycentersalabama.com, schedule an appointment with one of their many urologists today. Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop, rare quality, well-done service. Hey, for all of your IT and printing needs, reach out to our friends at Xerox Business Solutions. Look, I'm still one of those old school guys. I print my notes every single day for the show. If you watch the show here on the next round, you see all the notes in front of me. From day one, Xerox Business Solutions, they've been with us here at the next round. Local for over 45 years. For all of your IT and printing needs, visit XeroxBusinessSolutions.com or call 205-969-3000. That's 205-969-3000.
Never miss anything from the next round when you listen on demand through the podcast platform of your choice. Apple, Spotify, iHeart, or Google Podcasts. Wherever you listen, always like, follow, subscribe, and turn on automatic downloads so you catch every part of the next round. Listen anywhere in the world at any time on the Next Round podcast feed and support the show by following, subscribing, and turning on automatic downloads on any podcast platform. Thanks for always making the next round a big part of your day.
It's bow time. Tired of choosing between sweet and savory? Why not have both? Introducing Bojangles' new chicken and bowberry waffles. The bold Cajun chicken filet you love, now drizzled with a bowberry honey glaze and sandwiched between 2 warm waffles. Which means your favorite meal of the day just met your new favorite dish. And lucky for you, it's served all day. But it's only here for a limited time, so try chicken and bowberry waffles at Bojangles today. It's bow time.
Rolling on, by the way, before LT tells you about Inverness Country Club, we have a new night Sir David Beckham.
Oh, I think he's earned it.
Got knighted yesterday. 50-year-old for his work in sports and in charity. David Beckham becomes a knight. Here's the ceremony.
This is our version of a walk of fame, right?
Oh, no, I think it's far more exclusive than
No,
the Walk
I
of
mean,
Fame.
this should be, but I'm just saying, like...
I think this is more exclusive than the Walk of Fame. How many nights do you think
Oh,
there
there's
are?
a bunch.
How many are there, Tyler?
A lot.
Yeah, but it's been going longer than the Walk of Fame.
Yeah, and you don't buy your way into this.
I mean, I would rather be a knight. You say you don't buy your way into this. You don't know that.
No, I mean, you literally buy the Hollywood star.
Yeah, but I wouldn't be surprised if you don't buy your way into this. I mean, I think Beckham's well-deserved. I'm just saying.
There are 3,000 living knights.
How many Walk of Fames are there?
Way more than 3,000.
Yeah, that Walk of Fame, by the way, not impressive. I hate to sound like Dunaway, but have you been?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, people spit on it and piss on it.
2,800.
2,800. So it's
But you can just buy them. Like
well, yeah,
Galgadot
50, but
has
it's like
one.
50 grand.
It's not special.
Yeah,
like we could buy one for the show.
But
we could.
we
100%.
don't.
Yeah.
Do we know if you can buy your night chip?
I don't think so.
Well,
I mean,
none
again,
of
the
us are
numbers are pretty
British,
close.
so that's a pretty big barrier to entry, too.
It is. That is keeping us from getting it. Inverness Country Club bringing you that little moment in history right there.
Our friends at the Inverness Country Club, they've got memberships that fit everyone, whether it's the social membership, the golf membership. If you've been looking for that country club membership, you need to try out the Inverness Country Club. We've got a lot of friends out there. They love the child care element. Big plus. You and your day want a day of golf or tennis. Guess what? You can drop the kid. Go have yourself a day on the court or course. Dinner with friends, knowing your kid. Safe on site. Huge plus. Maybe you work from home. What about working from the club while they watch your kids? Best days happen there. To take a tour of the club, call Aaron 205-991-8608 or online iccalabama.com.
Fact or not fact, Ty Simpson is coming off his most inaccurate game at South Carolina, right?
Statistically, that's factual.
24-43, 253, but 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. Fact, though, he led the team when you had to win the football game.
He made the winning plays, yeah.
Made the winning plays, and he is doing everything you need to do to play winning football. Now comes November, which always is the games you remember.
It's a November to remember.
November to remember. Here's Ty Simpson on that November mentality.
You know, it's football. You know what I mean? Like, it's on the back end. Basketball game yesterday, right? It's like, dang, I remember the first day of camp. So, that puts it in perspective. And then two, right? It's, where teams separate ourselves, right? I just said you're remembered for what you do in November, but in order to be remembered what you did in November, it starts in September and October, right? And so, we've had a good September and October, and we need to make sure that, we don't piss it away and, just be glad we had, a good season in the front end, right? We need to finish it out and make sure that we come ready to play and we separate ourselves, these next couple games.
Ty Simpson there with the infamous piss it away.
Don't piss it away. And last year's Alabama team is certainly remembered for their November. You'd have to give me that.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it included one of their greatest moments and their worst moment. Maybe second greatest moment and their worst moment all in 1 month right there.
Yeah, I still think the most baffling loss wasn't necessarily Florida State. I think it was Oklahoma
It was
last year.
definitely Oklahoma last year.
But about this game this weekend, this LSU team is better than that Oklahoma team last year.
Yeah. I'll give you that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And normally I would say, yeah, but you're not playing them in Tiger Stadium, but Alabama has had great success in Tiger Stadium. I'll probably, if Scott went and pulled up last year's show leading into Oklahoma, I'm saying the exact same things I'm about to say here. This is a hard sell on me to see LSU.
Yep.
Just with the way their offense is played, the way Alabama's defense is played. This is exactly what I would have said last year going into Oklahoma. The way Alabama's getting played at their quarterback position right now.
Yeah. Truthfully, though, y'all did not think South Carolina was going to be a challenge.
You're absolutely right.
Truthfully, you guys did not think Florida State would be around at halftime.
You're absolutely right.
And if they played that again, I don't think they would.
Yeah.
But
there's a lot of talented guys on that other side. And Deontay Lawson said this. We don't have the cut here, but I wanted to bring it up, what we're talking about. And I believe this to be true. Deontay Lawson said yesterday, and I think this is the case of them and Georgia, Alabama and Georgia, of all the teams in the top 10, that the nation is sitting around waiting on and cheering for them to fall because of what Alabama and Georgia have done in recent history of college football. That if you looked at the college football playoff rankings last night, 1 through 10, the nation and other SEC teams, but the nation is looking at number 4 Alabama, number 5 Georgia, and waiting for and or cheering for those teams to fall. And that's a mentality I think is positive for Deontay Lawson to recognize that and know that people outside our building are waiting for us to mess up again.
That's right where you want to be. I mean, that is who you want to be as a team. And he's probably right about that. Like, I think Ohio State would be in that group. Why? Well, because Ohio State's your defending champion and they win a ton of games.
But if they lose one, they're fine.
But I mean, people
they'd have to lose 3.
Yeah, I know. People cheering for them to fall out of the rankings like they are Alabama and Georgia. I agree with Lawson. I think Alabama, Ohio State, Georgia, like, if you could let the nation pick, they'd pick one of those 3 to be out of this thing.
Oh, well, I mean, I think it's just natural, right? Like, I was watching Penn State and Ohio State this past weekend. I don't know about you guys. When it got 17-14 a half, I was telling myself, it's never going to happen, but I would like to see Penn State win this game.
I'm like Landmine Believer, though, in the chat room. It never seemed, when Georgia took the mantle from Alabama there briefly, it never seemed like they reached the level of
hatred.
How are you? Hatred, respect?
No, because Alabama was still there.
They were still there, but Georgia was winning the championship. It's like,
but Alabama was still close enough there that everybody's hate was focused on Alabama.
But even when Georgia was winning national championships, it was still fashionable to do the "We Want Bama" signs. Nobody ever did "We Want Georgia."
Well, you can barely say when national championships with Georgia. There was just 2.
I know, but that does make me have to put an S on the end.
Yeah, but one of them was against who?
Was against Alabama.
Okay, so who was the nation cheering for in that game? Georgia, 100%. They didn't want Alabama to win another one?
Probably.
So to his point, Georgia didn't really reach the Alabama hate level because Alabama didn't really go away.
It is interesting, though, because I remember talking to multiple Auburn fans, and they all were on the other side of that. Like, hey, Georgia hasn't won one, so we don't want Georgia to win one. So they were pulling for Alabama.
Ty Simpson on who he models his game after. Interesting comment here from the Bama quarterback.
I really like Joe Burrow. One, coach's son. Didn't play a whole lot early like I did, and just kind of the way that he moves and plays. I really like how he does it. I think Jared Goff is one who I really like. Right, just under center, a lot of stuff that the Lions do or stuff that we do. And then I think honestly like Baker Mayfield, little guy who would do anything to win. He's tough. And maybe not be the biggest guy, but he's going to get it done any type of way, right? He's very resilient, and so I think those are my 3, and then you can throw Matt Stafford in there as well. But I really like the way those guys play because I see a lot of myself in them.
Lance was waiting for the Matt Stafford.
Somebody might have played a nice future on Stafford to win the MVP.
Did he call Baker Mayfield a little guy?
Yeah, that's what I was checking, Brown.
Yeah.
Ty Simpson,
6'2",
6'2", Baker Mayfield 6'1.5".
I was about to say I don't view Baker as that little of a guy.
Baker's just thick.
Yeah,
Did you happen to see
Baker's one of those kids when he's done playing? And I said this about Mark Ingram, he's gonna blow up.
Did you happen to see his what he said to Eli and Peyton the other night during the game?
I did not. I was not watching.
It was fantastic. I wasn't watching either, but Charles was on there too, and Charles was fantastic. They were showing a play where he scrambled for a first down, and Eli says, "When do you work on that? Like, do you work on that in practice, like the scrambling and all?" Baker Mayfield said, "I tried it one night in Fayetteville, Arkansas, and ended up getting arrested. So no."
Yeah,
that's pretty good.
That is fantastic. Odie's gets us to the next part of this segment, which is somebody's got a wonderful historical walk down memory lane for Auburn fans in the history of the college football playoff selection shows. You'll hang around for that. Odie's
Team Trivia tonight. We'll get started about 8 o'clock, maybe a little after the original location. Make sure you join us right there in Crestline. Great food from Rodney Davis at both locations, the newest in Edgewood. Again, the location in Crestline, ice cold beer buckets full of the Bud Light. Live music tomorrow night and Friday night. A great place to watch the games, enjoy the fall weather on either one of those patios. But get in, see Will Haver and that great staff. Birmingham Institution is Odie's Tavern.
Brad Bell and AlabamaBathRemodels.com. That's who LSU redid the master bath in the Brown house. When it came time to do it, my wife Jennifer scoured the internet looking for the right person for the job. In doing so, she talked to a number of contractors, people that had used certain contractors, and Brad Bell was the name that just kept coming back to her. So we got Brad out to look at the job. We gave Brad our vision of the job, and that's exactly what he did. He didn't try to sell us on some pre-planned vision that he had so he could do it cheap and get out of there. He did what we wanted done, and it's fantastic. What he specializes in, master bath, kitchen, and master bedroom closet remodels. Why that's important? You use those rooms a lot. You want them to be functional and look great in your house. But also when you go sell your home, those rooms pop when people come to see your house, so you can make some money back on those remodels. See more, AlabamaBathRemodels.com, AlabamaBathRemodels.com, or call Brad, 205-422-1758. He'll come out and look at your job. 205-422-1758 or AlabamaBathRemodels.com.
This is Nathan King, who covers Auburn for 24/7 Sports. The first college football playoff ranking show of the season happened last night. We've talked about it a lot. 4 years ago, in 2021, the very first show that they did with the college football playoff rankings like we did last night, Auburn was 6-2 at the time and was number 13 in that very first college football playoff ranking 4 years ago. Since then, Auburn is 8-27 in SEC play and 10-28 against Power 4 opponents.
Holy cow.
And so in the history of the college football playoffs, the one we know of now, of the selection committee shows.
So are you saying they haven't been close?
They were 13th, 6-2, hanging on by a thread in the first one in 2021. And since then, 8-27 in SEC play, 10-28 against Power 4 opponents.
God, that is just,
living through it. It doesn't feel as bad as that sounds.
And I never got the clarification from Peter when I asked him, like, and you guys agree with me on this, right? If said coach, and I just went with Summerall, if said coach is offered both LSU and Auburn, there is zero chance they take off.
Peter's basing his argument on alignment, like that Auburn's got better alignment than LSU because LSU's got a governor that likes to call press conferences to talk about football.
I get that.
They've got they now have a permanent athletic director. I mean, we played the guy.
He is. It's officially confirmed. Verge Osbury is the full-time AD.
Yeah, so
they
that
took
helps.
interim off.
Yeah, that helps a little bit. But Peter's argument is, you've got a school president, you've got an athletic director. I mean, look, I don't know all those things. I know recently everybody that's coached at LSU other than Brian Kelly since Jerry DiNardo's won a national championship. And you just gave me numbers for Auburn that covers 3 coaches, the tail end of one, and 2 full tenures of 2 others. And those are bad numbers.
The chance of DJ Durkin getting the Auburn job is in the mix. Here's Kieron Crawford yesterday after practice talking to the media, where he basically says DJ Durkin, he doesn't basically, he says it, DJ Durkin's the best coach on our coaching staff.
It's like no other on this coaching staff. Coach Durkin is probably the best coach that we have on our staff. Always enthusiastic, always bring the energy, always have the effort that you want as a head coach or as a defensive coordinator. He's just a great person in general.
So the players like him. And then there's, if you're an Auburn fan, on the chance of beating nationally ranked Vandy this weekend is Keldrick Falk, who says that despite what you may think about this team, unified in the locker room behind DJ Durkin and Derek Nix calling plays, and Keldrick Falk says he's one of the guys holding this together.
A lot of people would have expected a team with the losses y'all had this year to just pack it in, not keep fighting. Y'all have done it every single game. And we hear after the game about you and Champ and other guys trying to keep the locker room together.
Right.
How much responsibility do you feel to kind of help make sure that you guys do that for these last 3, no matter what happens from here on out?
Total responsibility. Like, I take total responsibility for any and everything that happens. I look at this, me, Champ, Jeremiah, Connor, all of us, Kieron, we all look at this as our team. So I take full responsibility for everything that go on, for everything that happened throughout the season, and like just taking that responsibility in gives me even more motivation to just go and like keep that locker room together.
I love
percentage of winning this weekend. Go ahead.
Real quick, I was going to say I like that mentality, but you can't take responsibility for how bad your offense has been.
Yeah.
Percentage of winning, I will say 20%. I think if they play it 5 times, I think they win 1 of 5. But I wouldn't be surprised at all if they win this game.
I felt like a point spread of, where are we here on this?
7.5.
7.5 feels better than 20%, but I guess it doesn't. I guess that's a 20% point spread.
It's probably better than that.
How
I was going to say 30. I was just.
I think Vandy's offensive line, having watched in their entirety 4 or 5 of their games, is better than most offensive lines in the SEC. Is the way they work together.
And I
like
think
their running back in Alexander. I think Stowers is maybe the. I mean, you
underutilized. Not last weekend, but he has been underutilized this year, in my opinion.
Make a case, maybe the best tight end, one of them in college football. He may be the first tight end off the board when you get to the draft.
I don't think we've got the. Last year it was stacked with Tyler Warren and Colston Loveland and Harold Fannin. I mean, you can make the argument this year. I don't think we've got really that dynamic, and Stowers is dynamic because he's a former quarterback. But they've only given up 13 sacks all year, and I think a lot of that is Pavia. I mean, he gets out of a lot of situations.
Yeah. One thing you can't do, though, in these situations is listen to the players when it comes to hiring the coach. They're always going to back that guy that was on the staff in the interim. If let's say Durkin goes out and beats Vandy and Alabama, or Vandy or Alabama, you can't get caught up in what the players want. Those guys, they're too emotionally involved. They're too close to the coaches. And by the way, they're only going to be there a limited time. This guy has got to stay, if he's successful, 10, 12 years, you hope. So as much as you want to listen to the players when they go fight for DJ Durkin, if you're John Cohen, you can't do that. That is a mistake.
This is our Hemphill hot, cold question of the day. Offense has been cold at Auburn. Defense has been hot. Last time you saw a disparity in the SEC between one side of the ball being this good and the other side of the ball being that bad was what?
To me, it was LSU, Jaden Daniels winning a Heisman Trophy.
Oh, yeah.
And the defense couldn't stop anyone. I mean, they were the number 1 offense in the SEC.
What year was that, 23?
I would say that they were probably the number 15 or 16 defense.
Scoring offense, that was 23, right?
23, yes.
Yeah, scoring offense, 45.5 a game.
That had to be 1.
That was 1. Scoring defense, 28 a game, which only Vanderbilt was worse. That was before Clark Lee turned Vanderbilt
so
around.
1 in 15 in the league.
1 in 15. That's a pretty good one.
I mean, that offense should have won them every. I mean, if they had that offense this year, they'd be number 1 undefeated.
I feel like there were some Kentucky teams. I don't know if Kentucky's ever had the number 1 scoring defense, but there's some Kentucky teams that had
good defense, bad offense.
Good defense and no offense. Yeah.
Not to say Kentucky can't have a house in Tuscany, but I'm talking of
legit teams.
Yeah, contenders.
I do think we would be talking more about this Auburn defense. If Auburn had 2 losses, they won a lot of those tight games. I think nationally people would be like, man, this defense is the real deal.
Yeah. That's why they got a chance.
But you just wonder when they're going to tap out. Like, I give them a lot of credit, and back to what Falk's saying there, like, they haven't tapped out. And a lot of times you will see, hey, look, our offense can't score. You start playing worse and worse as the season goes on, and that hasn't been the case.
Speaking of tapping out, cut 12, Tyler. Your tap-out moment of the day. Bill O'Brien, head coach at Boston College this season, not going away.
No.
Not going away. They're 1-8, by the way, if you're scoring at home. 1-8. He gets asked a question about what is his message to fans, and then he loses his BC Eagle stuff.
Man, that's a lot on their backboard.
Wondering, give a message to the fans. Obviously, losing to Notre Dame Catholic school rival, 1-8 now in the season BC. I've heard from a lot of fans. They're just really down.
I'm really glad. I'm glad you're down. I'm not down. Nobody's down. We're fighting. We're competing. It's the second year of this program, Mike. You always come in here with these down questions. Like, you show up like once a month or something like that. You come in here with these down questions. I'm not down. I don't know what year you graduated from BC, but this is a program that we're building. Okay. Nobody here's down. We're positive. We're going to show up and play our asses off against SMU. You can go out there in your dark, clouded world or whatever it is and do what you want to do. We're not down. The sun is up, and we're fighting. That's my message to the fans. What's up, Trevor?
What's up, Trevor?
Oh, wow.
Trevor better had a good question ready. What's up, Trevor?
Yeah, not a lot, B.O. Just to follow up real quick.
I thought Mike made a good point, Bill.
I mean, they've lost 8 straight, and you are one of the worst defenses in football, giving up 33 points per game.
But they did hold Notre Dame to 25.
No,
that was an ugly game.
I thought I thought Notre Dame would run rampant on that BC defense, and I give them credit. They did show up. But, yeah, they were as competitive against Notre Dame as they've been against anybody. But this is a terrible program right now.
Yeah, I remember watching them. Was it the first night, second weekend of the season when they played Michigan State, winning that overtime game? And I remember thinking, hey, Bill O'Brien's got a little something this year. Listen, now Michigan State turns out is not a very good team.
I thought the same thing.
Yeah,
I thought the same thing.
They looked like a pretty good team.
Hey, give me the final 10 seconds again, and I want to
What's
tell
up,
you,
Trevor?
I want to tell you what happens as soon as Bill leaves the room.
Okay.
Because I've been the on the site media guy since I was 23 years old.
Want to do? We're not down. The sun is up, and we're fighting. That's my message to the fans. What's up, Trevor?
Yeah, he leaves the room, and everybody looks at Trevor. They're like, "You kiss. You're such an ass kisser."
He went straight to you. He wanted an easy question.
Yeah.
Well, he didn't really look happy about going to Trevor either.
What's up, Trevor?
Yeah. And then everybody goes to
Trevor,
Mike.
you want to come back to the office? We'll tell lunch, and I'll give you some inside scoop, man. Come on, man.
Yeah, I think we forget how tough this job is, though.
The last guy that was really winning there was the old cat that's
Jeff Jasinski.
What they basically say, if you go interview for the Bucs, you're fired.
It wasn't the Bucs, I think. I think it was the Jets.
Was it the Jets? Maybe so.
Yeah.
He ended up with the Bucs, I think, eventually.
Yeah. We've been pretty good.
Yeah, that was one of the dumbest.
Yeah.
You got to let people interview.
Yeah, they fired him, and they have not been worth a crap since.
Yeah, they were number 2. That Thursday night they go to
Matt Ryan.
They go to Virginia Tech. Matt Ryan leads them down. They got to number freaking 2 nationally.
All right, when we come back, we've got our Whacked Out Wednesday that will give you some whacked out point spreads. Play the other side for me because I'm 4 in a row of picking a team that I think it's not a big enough point spread, and they actually end up losing the game.
Outright.
It should be my upset alert every week. Good news on the Red Panda coming up, and more college football as we get ready for Week 11. Brought to you by our friends at Bud Light. Friday, we are at the Rabbit Hole, rain or shine. 75% chance of rain, 69% chance of rain, 60% chance of rain. Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
We'll be at the Rabbit Hole. I almost said we'll be at the Red Panda.
You're going to be shocked. Our man Jack Poole, a former intern, reached out. He's like, my fraternity brother's been talking a lot. You guys never bring any merch.
Okay.
We really want T-shirts, so we're going to bring some T-shirts for the guys. I don't know how many we're going to bring out, but join us 11 to 2 right there at the Rabbit Hole. We'll have great Bud Light specials. We'll have Bud Light merch as well to give out. They'll have that wheel they spin and give out a bunch of stuff, but it's a good excuse to get going early on a Friday afternoon.
I would tell you that it's November. It's probably time to clean out the closet sale going on at nextround.store.
We got to make room for the 26s.
We got to make room for the 26s. You get the new models in there. So we may take a lot of merch over to the Rabbit Hole, 11 to 2, special time for the specialty show from the Rabbit Hole on Friday.
We need a T-shirt gun.
Brought to you by our friends at Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. More football on the other side.
Honey, a while back, life knocked me flat on my behind. I was hit by an 18-wheeler, and Lord of mercy, it left me hurting. Now, I heard through the grapevine that Alexander Shannara had recovered big money for some people. You been hurt? Can't work? Don't sit there suffering. Call my people at Alexander Shannara Trial Attorneys. Ain't gonna cost you a dime, so pick up the phone and dial 659-777-7777 or go to Shannara.com, because when I called, Alexander Shannara answered.
Call me, Alabama. No representation made that the legal services provided are better than legal services provided by other attorneys.
Sterling and the fine folks at Champy's Chicken on Highway 119 in Alabaster want to welcome you in for a great lunch or dinner starting at 11 a.m. every day. Chicken that's brined overnight and cooked to order, and the taste of the Delta with those Delta recipe tamales. Champy's is perfect for all your tailgating needs this football season. You can also choose Champy's for your next party, wedding, or birthday. Great food, great people. Champy's Chicken on Highway 119 in Alabaster, and everything online at champyschicken.com.
This hour of The Next Round is presented by the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, now featuring 7 days of giveaways with your chance to win a share of up to $125,000. The more you visit the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, the more chances you have to win.
Hey, for all of your IT and printing needs, reach out to our friends at Xerox Business Solutions. Look, I'm still one of those old school guys. I print my notes every single day for the show. If you watch the show here on The Next Round, you see all the notes in front of me. from day one, Xerox Business Solutions. They've been with us here at the Next Round. Local for over 45 years. For all of your IT and printing needs, visit XeroxBusinessSolutions.com or call 205-969-3000. That's 205-969-3000. Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round to tell you about one of our favorite places for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That is Hamburger Heaven since 1982. Hamburger Heaven has been serving Birmingham's best hamburgers, cheeseburgers, French fries, hand-spun milkshakes, and sandwiches made fresh to order. All of their ingredients are fresh and prepared daily. This includes their beef, always fresh, never frozen, hand-pattied each and every day. For breakfast, lunch, or dinner, visit any of the 4 locations, Highway 280, Irondale, Gardendale, and Homewood.
Think about the best summer nights of your life. How many of those were in a great t-shirt? Visit nextround.store to get the perfect t-shirt for the next perfect southern night. Nextround.store. The memories are waiting.
Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Hemphill Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Hemphill are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Hemphill Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Hemphill Services. Call now, 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090. Hey, let me tell you about our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama. Compassionate and comprehensive urological care with 35 physicians, 17 locations across Alabama. Their patient-centered approach to all of your urological needs. Remember, they've got that new men's health center. It is beautiful, helping men with a wide range of sensitive male issues in a comfortable environment. You can always go online, visit UrologyCentersAlabama.com, schedule an appointment with one of their many urologists today.
It's bow time. Tired of choosing between sweet and savory? Why not have both? Introducing Bojangles' new chicken and bowberry waffles. The bold Cajun chicken filet you love, now drizzled with a bowberry honey glaze and sandwiched between 2 warm waffles. Which means your favorite meal of the day just met your new favorite dish. And lucky for you, it's served all day. But it's only here for a limited time, so try chicken and bowberry waffles at Bojangles today. It's bow time.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, the Next Round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
Here's your Champy's Chicken Hour, brought to you by Champy's Chicken, Highway 119 in Alabaster. I got a Champy's Chicken trivia question for you here in a second. But Champy's Chicken, Highway 119 in Alabaster. The chicken is brined overnight. Is it cooked before you get there, Tyler?
It's fresh.
It's fresh. It's cooked to order, we like to say. Yes, you order it, we cook it. Piping hot when it comes out. No heat lamps at Champy's world-famous fried chicken. Hand-cut chicken fingers, are they big, Tyler?
Oh, they're massive.
Massive.
And especially the 2 big breasts. That's your go-to.
Yeah, it's my 2 big breasts. I love that.
Hey.
And the sides, in-house made sides. And, of course, the in-house made desserts. And the Mississippi Delta recipe tamales. Sterling and the crew right there at Champy's world-famous fried chicken, champyschicken.com. One Power 4 school has sold $3 million worth of alcohol sales inside the stadium already this year. Wait for it. It is $1 million more than the second place sales in alcohol.
So this is the leading alcohol sales by $1 million.
$3 million in one school, Power 4. $2 million is the second place. I don't know the name of the school, but that is almost a little over $2 million. Almost a full $1 million more in alcohol sales this year at this Power 4. I'll narrow it down to 2 at this Power 2 school.
Well, yeah, I knew it was going to be Big Ten or SEC. I think your initial guess, because of the size of the stadium and the reputation of the fan base, is LSU, and their team has played poorly, so that might lead to more drinking. Ohio State has also got to be in this discussion. Massive stadium.
Yeah, I am going to say that it is Ole Miss because they've had 6 home games.
No, in fact, Lane is complaining about
not drinking enough
at the crowd size at his news conference.
The size of the media at the news conference?
I think so. I think it was that and not the crowd at the game, because he was talking about, I'm still sort of new around here. I always have to ask. I think he was talking about the number of people that were at the news conference, because he was like, I did learn that it's sort of squirrel season. And I always have to check and see, is it turkey season? Is it whitetail season? Find out it's squirrel season. I think he says you can bag 6 of them or 8 of them, and there's a limit on how many you can bag. Surely you want to talk about the crowd at the game.
Missouri's they've played 6 home games.
Yeah, that's a small stadium.
Yeah.
Wisconsin is the answer.
See, that was the obvious one, but I just wouldn't think now their team sucks.
That's right. You drink more when your team sucks.
Yeah, yeah, but the other side of that is I would think their attendance is way down, as bad as that team is.
$3 million worth of in-stadium legal alcohol sales. I always feel like LSU, they take a roadie in. They sneak them in.
It's a bunch of bootleggers.
And that's almost $1 million more than the next closest on those that report the alcohol sales. So I thought that was interesting.
They are bad.
Yeah, they are a bad team.
I will say we have seen Wisconsin fans come down to Tuscaloosa, and where were we? We were at Galette's, and
they get after it.
The Galette's owner was like, "There's some bar association, not the honky tonk bar association that Garth's singing about, but there's like actual bar association, and the Wisconsin bars warned the Tuscaloosa bars." They're coming. Yep. Y'all get ready. They coming.
Well, Wisconsin, Kentucky, I think, was the Hall of Fame game in Birmingham in the 70s where they basically emptied the bars in Birmingham, those two fan bases. God. I think they played each other.
I think Brooks did a graphic, didn't he?
He did.
Yeah, and
it's the drunkest fan base
of
something.
All right, let's get to our spotlight. Before that, I want to remind you that Storm Restoration Roofing can put the spotlight right on your roof. Find out if something is going wrong in your roof. You don't really know, right? We've done the summer in the South where it's been 100+ degrees, and you don't know if things are cracked. We've had the wind and thunderstorms. You don't know if a shingle's been loose or a limb fell and hit it and maybe dislodged something. Get Greg from Pell City up on your roof and let him do a free, no-cost roof inspection. He'll do that for you if you call the number on your screen, 205-542-3531, 205-542-3531. You can go to the Storm Restoration Roofing webpage, stormrestorationroofing.com, or you can go to Facebook and look up Greg from Pell City. He's A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau. He is the best at storm damage repairs and roofing replacements. He's got a builder's license, so he can take care of you. Great with insurance agents, and if there's a little extra money you need, he's got financing options available too. Locally owned for over 20 years, he and his wife, Andrea, run a spectacular company. There's no better. I've looked around. There's no better. It's Greg from Pell City, 205-542-3531, our friends at Storm Restoration Roofing.
The College Football Spotlight.
It is the Shannara Spotlight, presented each day by our guy Alexander Shannara, trial attorneys. They've recovered more than $2 billion for their clients, and they'll do the same for you. Shannara.com, Shannara.com. One thing Alexander wanted to do was create a firm that handles any issue his community of Birmingham face. Well,
he did it.
He did it, Jimmy D. They don't just handle personal injury claims that you're aware of, but also claims for fire and storm damage, bad drug and device claims, disability workers' compensation, and a host of other claims. When you find yourself in need of an attorney, you don't pay a dime unless they win your case. Shannara.com, Shannara.com.
Whacked Out Wednesday.
Get your whacker out.
Point spread in Vegas, not big enough for these games. It's the opposite of the upset alert. These are blowout games, we're telling you. Double mine. The point spread is 10.
You're going 20.
Make it 20. 20's not enough, probably. Wreck-'em Tech. Guns up. Texas Tech over BYU. And a blowout at home.
I tell you what, I thought about this one, Lance. It does feel like a spot where Texas Tech just runs BYU out of the stadium.
It does, but I mean, Kalani Sitake's done such a great job. You just wonder if Bear Bachmeier is going to have a freshman moment where he just, throws up on his cleats and they end up, throwing a couple of picks and they're -3 in turnovers and they lose this game by 28 to 35 points. But Kalani Sitake's won 19 of his last 21 games.
Yeah. On the road with a havoc-wreaking defense that forced 5 turnovers at Kansas State. Jacob Rodriguez maybe in line to win the Butkus Award as the best linebacker in the country. And Baron Morton, healthy through a whole game, missed 2, left 2 early. It sets up for a Texas Tech blowout, and I will add this to the fuel for the blowout. BYU schedule: Portland State, Stanford, East Carolina, Colorado, West Virginia, Arizona. Utah is a good win. Iowa State. They ain't seen nothing like this weekend on the road in Lubbock. Throw the tortillas.
Okay, so I'm going to go Friday night, Big Ten action, Northwestern coming to the Coliseum to take on USC.
Oh, not enough. Not enough points.
14 and a half. I think they win this game by 35. My concern, though, Jaden Maeva, as good as he was, and for a minute they had the number one offense in college football, if you go back to the fourth quarter against Notre Dame, then they had the bye, and then against Nebraska, 9 of 23, there was something off. Now, I think it's got to come together. You look at Northwestern, the scoring defense is a top 15 scoring defense in college football. Haven't really played anybody. I think they get exposed. They will not be able to keep up with this offense. But if it doesn't click this week, USC's in trouble. I don't know what has happened to Maeva his last 5 quarters of football, but I've got a feeling it comes back to him on Friday night and they win the game by 35.
In Lincoln, was it not cold and wet?
It was supposed to be really cold, and
they had the wrong balls, right?
No,
the waxy balls.
Yeah, so they waxed up the balls. Yeah, trying to get prepared for
Thinking
this.
it was going to be really cold.
They were over waxed, but I mean, he was so far off on his throws. Like I know you guys probably didn't watch a ton of that.
I did not. Had it on one of the teams.
He was bad.
And you know, Jim, when you wax your balls too much, I mean, you've experienced that.
If Raiola doesn't go out, they lose the game.
They found a star in King Miller. Injury forced them to get to King Miller, 129 yards rushing, including the go-ahead touchdown for USC. Maybe leaning a little bit more into the road game on the road than Maeva at home. I agree with you. USC in a blowout. What's next?
I'm going to a game that features a team that's actually very quietly playing improved football.
Whew.
Now, you could play the game.
Hard to see this team improve, but I'm with you.
They're improved football. You could play this game in my backyard, and I wouldn't watch it because it features a Stanford team that has 2 conference wins, Boston College. What's up, Trevor? And shockingly, Florida State, and a North Carolina team that just won their first ACC game. North Carolina has a surprisingly difficult logo to draw, so I just drew the state.
Man, that second half against Syracuse, it scared me to death because we had the under, ended up going under, but North Carolina, I kind of like this. I think they're going to roll.
They have played better football. You know why? Because their defense is playing better. It seems like Belichick's defense has finally clicked. They took Virginia, who's leading the ACC, to overtime. They won at Syracuse last week. I think North Carolina blows out Stanford in Chapel Hill. Again, you can play at my backyard, and I'd ask them to hold it down. But if you want a whacked out Wednesday, there you go, UNC.
That's our whacked out Wednesday. As we keep up with no scoring on that. If we did, I'd be in dead last place. We try to pick some blowouts for you right there. Games maybe you want to stay away from. My friends at Breakline, though, keep you in line when it comes to the best sunglasses available. And they're local, man. They're made in America right here locally.
That's right. Right here in beautiful Alabama. BreaklineOptics.com. Congrats to David Hayes. He was our weekly Breakline winner in the Buffalo Wild Wings Pick 3. So David not only gets a prize pack from Buffalo Wild Wings, but he also gets some State Traditions gear and Miss Rubin's seasoning. He gets the package with all their seasoning. So congrats to David Hayes, our weekly winner there. BreaklineOptics.com. You can be a winner with them. Anybody can. You go to BreaklineOptics.com, code TNR20, get you 20% off your order there. These are glasses that are built to last. They're built by people that love to be outdoors. So they built glasses that are going to withstand the elements you run into on the lake, the rivers, the beaches, out playing golf, wherever you are. And these lenses are impossible to break. We've tried them. We have pounded them into the pavement behind our building. You cannot break these lenses. They stand by their product. They are the ones that challenged us to break them, by the way. They brought the lenses, brought them out, and said, y'all can hammer them all day. You're not going to break one. And spoiler alert, we didn't. You can get these glasses. Great gift idea, by the way, for the Christmas season coming up. BreaklineOptics.com. Code TNR20 to save 20% at BreaklineOptics.com.
So Wednesday, Maction, Kent State, Ball State, Northern Illinois, Toledo. Maybe not most aesthetic football, but hey, if you want good scenery, and you want to watch both of these games, you can do it with our friends at Twin Peaks. You got Twin Peak girls running around in 3D, serving up those signature 29-degree drafts. Ours 37 in studio right now, but no one does happy hour like our friends at Twin Peaks. Whatever your preference, they've got everything from the tequila cocktails, extensive bourbon category, top-shelf spirits and cocktails, served over those big ice balls, local craft beers, handcrafted whiskeys. They've got that adventurous drink menu, and again, don't forget about the 29-degree drafts from our friends at Twin Peaks.
Maction home 2-team parlay tonight, maybe. I don't know. Seems like
you got one you playing?
I don't know. I mean, I
played a total.
I like Ball State giving the 3. I like Toledo giving the 14 and the hook.
Mm-hmm.
Little home team.
A home team.
Yeah. Some bad football.
Wednesday night parlay.
The home team.
Well, you remember
parlays.
how fun the Maction used to be? And boy, I never watch Maction anymore.
It's because we're oversaturated with so many games.
Well, I don't think the Max is as good as it used to be, though, too.
It's not because of the portal.
Yeah. I mean, they develop players for the bigger conferences, don't they?
I don't think we'll ever see a MAC team in the Group 5.
Yeah, I mean, if you go back a decade, 15 years, and you have this same system, the MAC would have.
Yeah, Roethlisberger's Miami of Ohio team.
Yeah, Miami of Ohio, Western Michigan with P.J. Fleck would have been there. I think one Toledo team with the fat coach. I forgot.
Yeah, M. Stutz, was that his name?
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, the MAC would have dominated that Group of 5 spot back in the day. They're not even a factor in it anymore.
Yeah, they're the worst Group of 5 conference.
It's crazy, isn't it, how quick it fell off?
It's fallen off.
Yeah.
The college football playoff rankings last night, we've showed you the rankings. And remember, it's not just the top 12 teams. We do seed them correctly now. Top 4 teams get a bye. And it does look like Ohio State and Indiana are almost locked into a bye situation. But you've got to factor in a Big 12 champion, an ACC champion, and a Group of 5. This is the way your bracket would look. A more suitable bracket, by the way, with the bye teams being Ohio State, Indiana, A&M, and Alabama, 1, 2, 3, and 4 in that order. The bracket would look like this: Texas Tech and Oregon playing at Tech, and the winner getting Ohio State off campus at a bowl site. Georgia hosting Memphis, the winner getting Alabama at an off-site bowl game.
Exactly what Georgia wants to do, have to play Alabama again. They can't beat Alabama to save their life.
So I think we got 2 really good games there and 2 terrible games.
The other side, if you're factoring in, you weren't talking about just the 2 I named. The other side of the bracket, for those that are listening, has Notre Dame on the road at BYU and Virginia on the road at Ole Miss. Again, being conference champions earn you nothing anymore. BYU does get a home game, but Virginia does not. Winner of Notre Dame and BYU gets Indiana at our neutral site. Winner of Ole Miss, Virginia gets Texas A&M at our neutral site. That's if it started today.
Yeah, I mean, both the SEC teams would be 17 to 20-point favorites. But Oregon at Texas Tech, I probably would say Oregon's a 2 or 3 point road favorite. And Notre Dame at BYU, probably the same. Notre Dame 2 or 3 there. Those would be 2 really good games, but the other 2 would be skull dragons.
Yeah, I'm not really sold on BYU yet. You even notice here there's 2 Big 12 teams. That's the way the rankings are right now. We find out a little bit more about Oregon this weekend, right? I mean,
it's a tough game.
We really don't know what Oregon is.
Yeah,
I mean, Penn State is their one game. Everything else has been blah games.
I mean, Iowa is your standard Iowa. They don't throw the ball worth of crap. They're dead last in the Big 12 in passing. Or, excuse me, the Big 10 in passing. Would be dead last in the Big 12, too, I'm sure. Dead last in passing. They run the ball. They grind out. They try to beat you time of possession. They've got a salty defense. And Iowa City can be a tough place to play.
Yeah, Mark Gronowski, they go out. They get him from South Dakota, North Dakota, one of those schools.
Doesn't matter.
And,
He's an Iowa
ton
quarterback.
Of experience.
It's like being a Kentucky quarterback. It doesn't matter.
He is an upgrade. When you look at their 2 losses, Cyhawk, 1 possession loss early in the season against Iowa State at that point, seemed like they were going to be a contender in the Big 12. And then the other loss, Fernando Mendoza running 60 yards backwards to make it a 1-possession game. But, they were quality losses. I think Iowa's good. I think they're good enough to beat. Back to your upset alert. I think they're good enough to beat Oregon.
Best win is Minnesota for Iowa.
Best win is probably Minnesota, but again, they kept it really, really close with Indiana.
To your point, best win for Oregon's Penn State.
It is.
That is far from a good win.
Yeah, I think we're going to learn a lot about the Big Ten this weekend. Again, we'll know about USC because Northwestern's got a good enough defense to keep them thrown off. If it doesn't click back, I think USC's got problems. And we're going to learn a lot about Oregon because I think the Penn State win that you talk about in double overtime, obviously, since that moment, they have lost 4 consecutive games, so 5 overall straight for Penn State.
I'll be consistent, though. That was a different Penn State team that even played at UCLA the next week, and definitely different than the one that played after the injury to their quarterback. So, I mean, that Penn State team, it's different. A better win for Oregon because of what Penn State was until they lost their soul.
Well, and that was a really, really good atmosphere for about a half, and then they kind of tailed off. But at that point, there was optimism. Hey, we can still win a national championship. Drew Aller was still playing. If I asked you guys, better chance of Iowa finishing the season at 9-3 or finishing the season at 7-5?
I'm going to go 7-5, but I have not looked at the remainder of their schedule.
They've got Oregon. They go to the Coliseum to take on SC, Michigan State, and at Nebraska.
I think they go 2-2 in that stretch.
Yeah. I don't know if they can beat Oregon. I don't think they can win in the Coliseum, but I think they can win those other two. I mean, Nebraska's without Raiola the rest of the year, so.
That's still a tough stretch.
Yeah.
It is. It is. By the way, just to be fair, I don't want to be only calling out non-SEC teams, as Klatt accuses us. Give me the best win either for both teams combined, Vandy and Missouri. Best win for Vandy, best win for Missouri, and you can't count Vandy over Missouri.
Oh.
Best win for Vandy, best win for Missouri. Now, those are 2 quality wins for Alabama.
Yeah, oh yeah. I think for Missouri, your best win is probably at Auburn.
Wow.
You
got to be kidding me.
I was going to say Kansas.
It's Kansas or at Auburn.
For Vandy, your best win is LSU, if you can't count Missouri. Missouri's their best win, but if I can't count that, it's LSU.
Yeah, Vandy and Missouri haven't done a lot.
They have not.
They played Alabama close.
If I was about to say, if I'm going to be honest, Vandy's best win is playing Alabama close at Bryant-Denny. Now, it was 30-14, but that was a garbage time touchdown that made it 16 points. And Missouri's best win was almost beating Alabama and Columbia.
I still think Vandy or Missouri might be the 4th best team in the Big Ten. I think you can make an argument they're better than SC, Michigan, Washington, Iowa.
Listen, I want Vandy and Missouri to keep winning because that makes that Alabama run look
no
good.
doubt.
But when you look at what Vandy and Missouri has done, not a lot of meat in their win column. No pelts on the wall.
No, I mean, in conference, Vandy has lost to Alabama, beaten LSU, beaten Missouri, lost at Texas. I mean.
Yeah. That's why you could see this weekend Auburn, Vandy. Auburn's got a chance. A&M could boat race Missouri.
I will say it hasn't held this way, but when Vandy played all 4 of those teams, they were all ranked in the top 20.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I mean, now LSU has since fallen out, obviously.
But I believe, and I know people push back on me on this, but I believe that, like that Penn State win, you should be judged by the team you were playing at that time with the personality, atmosphere, swagger, all of that Penn State had that weekend. That's how you should judge that win for Oregon, not the Penn State that is still walking around in their ghostly form right now.
Is that how you judge the Alabama loss?
I do think that.
I heard from a lot of Florida State that was our Super Bowl, which is weird because it's first game of the season.
But I do think that Florida State team was different that day than the ghost of a team that's walking around now. I think you got to judge by the situation you're playing in at that time. Notre Dame, in my opinion, played a tougher Miami team than the Miami team that is still walking around right now. That Notre Dame loss at Miami doesn't look like as big of a quality loss as it once did.
And Notre Dame, sans what you saw this past weekend against BC, they're a much better team right now because you go back, that was C.J. Carr's first ever start. Was on the road. I know it's not a hostile environment in Hard Rock, but still, I mean, that was a big moment for him on a Labor Day.
Yeah, that's why, when we talk about Notre Dame being ranked in front of Miami, that's why I keep going back to that was the first game of the season. Things change. And I get you got head-to-head and the records are the same, okay? I get all of that. But I'm also willing to step back and say, all right, but things can change from the start of the year to the end of the year. I mean, Alabama, for instance. You view them vastly differently right now than you viewed them after the Florida State game. Vastly different. I was thinking about that last night when they popped up at number 4. I'm like, I wish we could go back. I wish we could go back to the post-Florida State show that Monday and just to see the reaction we would have gotten, say, hey, by the way, Alabama is going to be among the first-round buys, the very first playoff ranking.
Let's do this real quick. You haven't seen any football at all, so we go from week 0 to just seeing this. What is the thing that jumps out the absolute most for you guys?
If I just woke up from a coma and I look at the rankings,
you got you wrecked your schemo bill back in August.
Texas A&M number 3.
To me, it's Clemson's. I'm like,
well, Clemson's not there.
Wait,
okay, yeah. I thought you meant,
where is Clemson?
No. I thought you meant teams.
Either way.
I thought you meant teams I could actually see.
I mean, I would be blown away that Ole Miss. Good for Lane Kiffin, A&M, Indiana back at number 2.
But you would look and you'd say, where's Clemson? Where's Penn State?
Yeah, that's baffling, both of them.
No, you would. I thought he was just saying of the teams I could see. But, yeah, you're absolutely right. If I just woke up and looked at it today, I would have been like, boy, Cade Klubnik got hurt against LSU, I guess. Because
and I don't think Texas, you'd be like, they got 2 losses, SEC.
Yeah. I think you'd look and say, where's LSU? I think you'd go, where's LSU? Where's Clemson? Where's Penn State?
What in the world happened to that LSU-Clemson game? Neither one of them were there. Did the stadium explode? I mean, what in the world?
Interesting way to look at that. I like that.
And Vanderbilt, I mean.
Yeah, I would be surprised at that, too. Got to be honest with you.
Hey, quickly, a Michelson laser vision look at the NFL trade deadline yesterday. Before you tell us about Michelson, the Jets got 2 first-rounders and a second-round pick for Sauce Gardner and Quinnen Williams combined. Now, 2 first-rounders for Sauce Gardner, who went to Indianapolis, and then a first-rounder and a second-rounder for former Alabama star Quinnen Williams, who went to the Cowboys. First, the Quinnen Williams part of this. He's 27. For what the Jets are doing, I think that's a good trade to get a first-round pick and a second-round pick for Quinnen Williams to Dallas. I don't think he fixes anything for Dallas.
No, and Dallas continues to play this like they're very much in the mix. They were very, very active at the deadline, which really surprised me. If you're Quinnen Williams, though, you're probably in a better spot. But I would say this. If you go back when Detroit was in the dark ages and they traded Matt Stafford for all of that draft equity, and look where Detroit is now. So to me, it's a similar thing the Jets have done here. You hate to give up a guy like Sauce Gardner, one of the top 3 shutdown corners right now. You hate to give up a Quinnen Williams, but if you can, and the key is make those draft picks count, which Detroit did, then, they could be a factor. But you still got to get a quarterback right.
The Jets have a history of not doing.
I did hear somebody hear this morning. You guys, what would you do about this? If the Jets reached out to the Bengals and said, we will give you, much like Stafford, we'll give you all these first-rounders for Joe Burrow, do you think both sides would do it? Do you think Cincinnati would give him up?
You can't. I mean, it's a historically cheap franchise, but you have got a top 5 quarterback. I mean, I don't know.
Now factor in injuries.
I was about to say, he stays hurt. I mean, that's the other thing, Lance, is he stays hurt. I mean, he's probably, I bet you he's missed more games than Tua.
Yeah.
It's very close if he hasn't. And
we don't talk like that, though.
No, we don't. And Tua gets labeled as made of glass, but I bet you Joe Burrow and Tua, it's very close. And I would say Burrow's missed more games.
I think the grittiest receiver in football is Puka, but he's one of those guys, like he went down on football last week.
Yeah.
And I didn't know if it was a shoulder, but it ended up being sternum, and he was able to come back. But he's one of those guys, as tough as he is, he's glass. Some of these guys can't avoid injury, but Burrow, it would be scary to give up a king's ransom to get a guy that you can't trust to play a full 17.
I mean, if you gave me what you got yesterday in 3 first-rounders in a second round, I'd give you Burr in a heartbeat.
I would too.
Yeah.
I would too, based on injuries. And based on the fact that Flacco went, 460 this past week?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think he's going to keep doing that.
460 in a loss.
Yeah.
By the way,
that's what I'm saying. You need help.
Yeah, I know.
I think the Eagles are doing it just about as good as anybody in the front office. They get outside linebacker Jalen Phillips, pass rusher, 2 DBs in Carter and Alexander. They kept A.J. Brown. To me, the Eagles, all they did was strengthen what they had to make another run at the playoffs. Another run at the Super Bowl.
Yeah, Jalen Phillips is fascinating to watch. The Miami product was largely a disappointment for the Dolphins. He did have a big injury to his defense, but he just wasn't the impact player they thought he was going to be. I guarantee you he goes to Philadelphia and tears it up. He'll be a pro. He'll be an all-pro at Philadelphia.
To me, the 2 biggest moves, like singular players, Rashid Shaheed going to the Seattle Seahawks.
I had that next. He's beside Smith and Jigba now. That's a dynamic duo.
One too.
And I mean, what he can do, the deep threat from him, and he was just underutilized in New Orleans. And then the other is Sauce Gardner going to the Colts, who I believe they're a top 5. I think Seattle and the Colts are both top 5 teams, and they got, maybe a game better with those two guys.
What if you were Aaron Glenn yesterday? How'd you feel?
Am I part of the rebuild?
That's the question you're asking right now.
You got to ask that. Hey, look, if you guys want to do this,
fine.
But remember me.
Yeah, you're asking me to win in the NFL with this quarterback situation. Now you're trading away the best parts we've got other than Garrett Wilson.
No, you took, their best player is Sauce Gardner.
Yeah.
And you took their best player. Yeah. And Quentin Williams is one of their top 5 guys.
Yeah. And I guess they just didn't get enough for Garrett Wilson because there's a lot of teams that would have taken Garrett Wilson.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But you go by age, length of contract, and things like that on what you're part of the rebuild there. All right, so that's the NFL trade deadline. Passing yesterday, a lot of big moves and some strengthening of defending champions. When we come back, we'll get to trash as we roll on today. That was our Michelson look back at the trade deadline in the NFL.
205-969-8100. Again, I got the procedure done in 2003. Dr. Mark Michelson, the first to perform the LASIK procedure in the state of Alabama back in 1995. Make the phone call that I made. If you wear glasses or contacts, you're wasting money each and every year. 205-969-8100. Ask for Amy Shaw. The next round sent you. She is going to hook you up with a hassle-free consultation. 0 to lose to find out if LASIK is right for you. For more information, MichelsonLaserVision.com.
Take the next round anywhere you go with official Next Round gear. Buy yours today at nextround.store.
Honey, a while back, life knocked me flat on my behind. I was hit by an 18-wheeler, and Lord of mercy, it left me hurting. Now, I heard through the grapevine that Alexander Shannara had recovered big money for some people. You been hurt? Can't work? Don't sit there suffering. Call my people at Alexander Shannara Trial Attorneys. Ain't gonna cost you a dime, so pick up the phone and dial 659-777-7777 or go to Shannara.com, because when I called, Alexander Shannara answered.
Call me, Alabama. No representation made that the legal services provided are better than legal services provided by other attorneys.
All right. It's a beautiful day for football here at the stadium, and we're just about ready for kickoff. Score 0-0. And suddenly, I'm in the mood for a Coke Zero Sugar. Real Coke taste, zero sugar. Now that's a winning combo. Yeah, crisp, refreshing. That hits the spot. When it comes to great taste, Coke Zero Sugar's always on the scoreboard. Coke Zero Sugar. Real Coke taste, zero sugar.
This hour of the next round is presented by the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, now featuring 7 days of giveaways with your chance to win a share of up to $125,000. The more you visit the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, the more chances you have to win.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, you're in the red zone for every college rivalry and divisional matchup all season long. I mean, where else are the scenic views as good as your view of the game? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Get all your favorite Next Round gear all in one place. NextRound.store. From our Next Round hats to the logo tees to the all-time best-selling Y'all Can Have the Rest shirt. You can look your best by shopping with us at NextRound.store. Take the next round anywhere with NextRound.store.
Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop, rare quality, well-done service. Hey, let me tell you about our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama. Compassionate and comprehensive urological care with 35 physicians, 17 locations across Alabama. Their patient-centered approach to all of your urological needs. Remember, they've got that new men's health center. It is beautiful, helping men with a wide range of sensitive male issues in a comfortable environment. You can always go online, visit urologycentersalabama.com, schedule an appointment with one of their many urologists today. Catch up on all today's Next Round on demand through the podcast platform of your choice, Apple, Spotify, iHeart, or Google Podcast, wherever you listen. Always like, follow, subscribe, and turn on automatic downloads so you never miss any part of the Next Round.
Storm season is here. Make sure you have a plan of action in place right now. Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing should be your first call when storms hit. Insurance companies love working with Storm Restoration Roofing because of Greg Nelson's name and reputation in the industry. When storms hit, call Greg Nelson. He's local, 205-542-3531. He's the home of the free no-cost roof inspection. Greg from Pell City on Facebook, 205-542-3531. It's Storm Restoration Roofing.
It's bow time. Tired of choosing between sweet and savory? Why not have both? Introducing Bojangles' new chicken and bowberry waffles. The bold Cajun chicken filet you love, now drizzled with a bowberry honey glaze and sandwiched between two warm waffles. Which means your favorite meal of the day just met your new favorite dish. And lucky for you, it's served all day. But it's only here for a limited time, so try chicken and bowberry waffles at Bojangles today. It's bow time.
Next round, trash in just a second. By the way, Padres Yu Darvish done for 2026 UCL injury. Coming back from injury last night, Red Panda was back.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
How'd she perform?
She was good.
No breaks?
Wrist injury back in July. Wrong in you. She fell, injured her wrist, but back in the NBA last night. So basketball season is rolling.
I'm assuming y'all have seen her live.
Yes. Oh, yeah. I've seen her a few times.
Yeah.
I'll tell you,
it's so impressive.
First time I ever saw her is when we were out the first week we ever did a show together.
Wow.
out
at L.A.?
I went and saw the Clippers and the Lakers, and, yeah, she was at that game performing. That's the first time I've seen her. I've probably seen her 5 or 6 times.
What kills me is you guys have, what was it? Was Jason Isbell, I think at one point Bruce Springsteen, you guys have made fun about how sportscasters, sports writers,
love Red Panda.
They love you guys love the Red Panda.
Yeah.
I think it's a little overrated.
You think Red Panda's overrated?
I do. I mean, I'll be the. I don't understand why you guys love Jason Isbell so much.
Said today.
I think the Red Panda.
She literally is one of. It's the one that can do that.
It's the most unique act I've ever seen. Like nobody else does anything like it. And to create what she's created and to be as good at it.
Okay, now you're taking it somewhere different. As a business model, fantastic.
No, it is a great business model. She travels a lot.
Would I rather have the entertaining dog who can run and catch Frisbees and things?
I'd rather have Red Panda.
Much more entertaining to me than the Red Panda.
No, I'd rather have Red Panda than Frisbee catching dog. Frisbee catching dog does not do a whole lot for me. Now, have y'all ever seen the Leeds Middle School jump rope team?
Oh, yeah. Fantastic.
They're actually really good. Yeah. Have you ever seen them?
I have seen jump rope teams.
No, Leeds Middle School has Tyler's laughing. No, but they do half times of basketball games, Tyler, and they're really entertaining in what they do.
By the way, there's a lot of, I mean, not to knock that, but there's a lot of these jump rope teams. There's one Red Panda.
I agree with Lance on this.
Yeah. Do you like the troops to that use the trampoline to do a variety of different dunks?
Nope.
Flips and dunks.
I think that's stupid.
Not a huge.
Like I want an element of. There's got to be some danger there.
So you don't think full run, hitting a trampoline, flipping in the air.
I've never seen
and dunking is less dangerous than a professional on a unicycle who's had one injury in her 30,000 performances.
Maybe she's just that good.
Yeah,
that's right. When you're the goat,
she's an expert.
Yeah. I think you will. She's universally loved.
Oh, absolutely.
You're the first person I've heard say is just not impressed by the act.
I've seen it 100 times.
And the first time you weren't impressed.
First time was
I
great.
want to remind you, has anything ever impressed?
No, I know. I mean, this, like Tyler said, this is the least surprising thing anybody could have said on the show.
Just saying.
I mean, when he goes to the Masters one day, he's gonna be like, "This green, a
have
little off."
Have you guys
gone
been to Augusta?
Have you? Yeah, I've been.
Have you been to Augusta?
To a practice round.
What did you think?
It's beautiful. It's beautiful. I mean, I can go down to.
I
can go down to the botanical gardens and see great plants and stuff. No, it's beautiful. What was I going to say now?
I'm sorry.
I was heading to a point.
Something about Red Panda.
Have you guys seen Cirque du Soleil?
I've never seen Cirque du Soleil.
It's incredible.
Yeah, I mean, once you see that, I mean, what are we doing on that unicycle?
Yeah, but you've got like a midget from Yugoslavia. I mean, it's like You got to go around and get these acrobats from all over the world that come together, and that's all they do is train 24/7 to do that.
What do you think she's done?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
She trains 24/7. I mean, she travels a lot, man. Look at her schedule.
But
she's flipping catching plates.
I know.
Bowls.
It's amazing.
I think.
Now I do like the Cirque du Soleil better, just because it's
what's a lot of people.
Such a visual thing. Yeah, with everything
My
going on.
My favorite thing in the circus, like you like the trapeze in the circus.
With a harness or without a harness?
Yeah, without the net, yes.
Yeah, I like it without the net. But my favorite thing in the circus,
I'm okay with the net.
My favorite thing in the circus is the motorcycles in the sphere, because if they get tangled up, it is going to be a complete mess.
Has it ever happened?
Yeah, they get. I've seen video of them getting tangled up,
okay,
and I kind of, in a sadistic way, pull for that when I'm watching it. I kind of want to see the carnage.
Oh, it's the Red Bull jump at New Year's Eve. After the 6th or 7th one, I was like, no chance. Like, if you just throw one guy in there and let him wreck and break every bone in his body like Evel Knievel, it brings people back. When it becomes predictable.
Ironically, that's what made Evel Knievel so great, was that he didn't always get it.
Well, and
it was believable, right?
Because and he was pretty dumb, too. I mean, like, I'm going to fly a rocket across the Snake River.
The fact that he wasn't successful almost as many times as he was successful, it seemed like. That's what made you watch.
So he was basically 50-50, huh?
No. I mean, he was
60-40?
He probably was successful 89% of the time.
It felt like less. Because the failures are so dramatic, right?
Yeah, when he failed, though, he didn't get up and dust himself off.
It involved an ambulance. Yeah.
Evel Knievel had a success rate of over 95% on his jumps, but his spectacular failures are what made him famous.
Yeah, because Lance is right.
That Snake River jump is the 5%.
That's right. Yeah,
it's a great
Caesar's
documentary. By the way,
Palace worse than that.
That's true.
That where he was jumping the fountains.
That's when he broke every bone in his body, basically.
Yeah. Lance's point: if he failed, it was an ambulance ride home. He didn't get back in his car.
If you guys haven't seen Being Evil, have you seen the documentary on him?
I haven't.
Oh, it is fantastic.
It is the best. It is the best.
I'm going to guess he was a tortured soul, right?
Oh, of course. Yeah. I mean, he loved the women and the whiskey and jumping motorcycles. He was living large.
One thing before we get to trash, brought to you by our friends at JohnstonRVCenter.com. JohnstonRVCenter.com.
I-65, exit 304 in Coleman, 334 in Decatur. In fact, Nick Johnston just sent us, Jim, some fresh things to tell the audience here. I'm going to get to that in 1 second. I'm ready to pull that up early.
This will be our Johnston RV fact of the day from basketball last night.
Yeah, give him a fact real
Nick
quick.
loves some basketball. Duke last night, trailing at the half, ends up blowing out Texas 76-60. Cam Boozer, and as Shire said postgame, Texas is going to walk away. By the time you see this guy at the end of the year, they're going to walk away saying, we held him to 15 points, 13 rebounds.
Yeah, that's impressive, isn't it?
Yeah. He was impressive last night.
And you just wait. Like, I was reading an article this morning on it, and I love how you don't want to discredit. It's not discrediting, but immediately saying the son of Carlos Boozer. So now they really wait till the end of the articles to point out something that you already know.
Yeah. Purdue, number one in the country, in Tuscaloosa next week, will beat Evansville without one of their top starters, 81-52. Troy wins on the road at Kent State. Big win for Troy in our state there. That's basketball last night. Don't forget Alabama on the road at St. John, 11 o'clock, Madison Square Garden, FS1. You can watch that one with your football on Saturday morning. Big game. Nate Oates against some guy named Patino at the Garden.
A guy can coach. All right, Johnston RV Center, I-65, exit 304 in Coleman, 334 in Decatur. Right now, as low as $139 a month at Cherokee RV. They can get you in with zero down with approved credit, fifth wheels, all the way up to the biggest things they've got there, as low as $959 a month. I mean, that's a heck of a deal on something that is sale priced to $118,000. This is with approved credit. Don't forget, RV Warranty Forever is going to make certain you have got a lifetime warranty on anything new and qualifying pre-owned. Oh, and by the way, they are doing a great thing there at Johnston RV Center through the 15th, a food and coat drive. So if you could just go by and make a donation, even if you're not in the market for an RV, make a donation, help those in need. JohnstonRVCenter.com.
Any attempt to restrict drinking and driving here is viewed by some as downright undemocratic.
They're making it laws where you can't drink when you want to. You have to wear a seatbelt when you're driving. Pretty soon we're going to be calling this country.
LT's Trash is presented by Bud Light.
Easy to drink, Easy to enjoy. Our friends at Bud Light again will be 11 to 2, Rabbit Hole right there on the Strip in Tuscaloosa this coming Friday with great Bud Light specials, Bud Light merch. Come join us, 11 to 2, Rabbit Hole. TikTok video of a 24-year-old man learning he was named Kyle from South Park has gone viral, amassing over 8 million views. Now, the clip posted by his wife, Vanessa, on October 26th shows her husband, Kyle, stunned after hearing the news from his mother for the first time.
Okay, for a second, I thought that was wife Vanessa on the left. And I'm like, oh, I thought that was his mom. So that is his mom. Okay. Sorry,
you
Vanessa.
Think Crane and Company believe this is real?
It's staged.
No, all this stuff is staged.
It is, absolutely.
All of it is staged.
Yeah.
Now, the moment was captured at a family gathering when Kyle's mother revealed the inspiration behind his name. He sat frozen with disbelief. Quote, I just love the name Kyle. I loved Kyle from South Park, she said, explaining it was the only name she and her husband could agree on. Kyle responded by saying he would need, quote, 2 more beers to process the news. Is Kyle like a bad character or something?
Oh, he's just one of the main characters.
So, Kenny is the one that always got killed, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Now, Vanessa's viral post features on-screen text describing it, quote, the moment my mother-in-law stuns my husband by telling him he's been named after a South Park character. Now, Kyle's mother reassured him it was, quote, 100% real, saying she and his dad watched the animated series all of the time during his childhood. The video has over 1 million likes and more than 7,000 comments.
Wow.
It's amazing the stuff that entertains people.
I couldn't play the video because of copyright and also language from the mom. She,
salty mouth.
She speaks like a South Park character.
Wow.
It was funny. The guy says, why didn't y'all name me Kenny? Why Kyle?
So you'd rather have been the one that gets killed all the time?
Oh, everybody loves Kenny.
Oh, okay. You know, I've never watched an episode of South Park.
I haven't either. I've seen
I feel
clips.
like I have. Is that the one that's news sensitive, politically motivated? I think I've seen that, right? That's the one that is very timely. Like they do the controversial religious ones and political ones. I've seen
Matt
one or
Stone,
two.
Trey Parker. They were the ones that the Taliban wanted to kill.
Yeah, there was.
I love how they do. They mix it up. I just haven't
they're not
watched
afraid.
it.
Yeah, there's a documentary years back called 6 Days to Air because they would make every episode from scripting to ready to be sent to TV stations in 6 days.
So they could be timely.
They could be timely, and they were always working.
So let me ask you this, Jeeves. I love Team America. And they were the guys behind that with the puppets. I thought it was absolutely, fantastically done. I've seen it multiple times. If I like that, would I like South Park?
I think you would like some of South Park. Like, the earlier seasons are more just how crazy and just wacky can we be? And then some of the more recent seasons try to be more timely, more political.
Of that genre, I think you would like Family Guy.
I think you would appreciate Family Guy more. There's a lot more 80s references.
Yeah, Family Guy's hilarious.
Family Guy.
Yeah,
I think
Family
you
Guy.
like South Park more because of its what's the word I'm looking for? Where
Political incorrectness?
Irreverence to
Family Guy's nothing but political incorrectness. I mean, Peter Griffin makes fun of everything.
So a Kentucky woman who was expecting a medicine delivery opened the package only to discover severed human arms and fingers on ice.
Sorry, ma'am.
After receiving the gruesome surprise on Wednesday, a woman called 911 from her home in Hopkinsville, according to the New York Times.
I ordered chicken fingers.
Quote, we were expecting a delivery of urgent medication that was flown in on a Nashville airport thing, and then they delivered 2 boxes, she said in the 911 call. We opened one box. It turned out to be human parts for a transplant, it's very medicinal, she continued. We're trying to know where it goes. We just didn't want to be in possession of body parts that don't belong to us. Emergency responders then called in Christian County Coroner Scott Daniel to retrieve the 2 arms and 4 digits. Daniel took the limbs to the local morgue where a courier retrieved them on Thursday. It is not immediately clear what courier delivered the alarming package.
I would not think, and this is just me, but if we've got body parts for transplant that would just ship them the way I would have a pair of shoes shipped to my house, wouldn't you think we've got a little higher delivery system for body parts for transplant than the Amazon delivery guy?
But I don't know how valuable the body parts are, and you can put it in a cooling, when I get the farmer's dog sent for bullet and chili, got that dry ice, and package will sit for a couple of days if you need it to.
Yeah, they do the same thing with a lot of medicines too.
Okay.
Like insulin arrives refrigerated.
Hey, by the way, I had an Amazon delivery the other day at 5:30 in the morning.
Oh, they're nonstop.
They get after it, don't they? 5:30 in the morning.
Does your dogs bark? Does your dog bark?
My dog barks only if he sees him. He can't. My dog can't hear the doorbell ring unless he's in the bedroom. Our doorbell only rings in the bedroom.
Yeah. See, and I don't know if I'm there, Bullet and Chili are normally hovering around me.
Yeah.
But like when I pull home, almost every day, Bullet has opened the blinds and he's standing on the living or the dining room table. Can't make it up.
Lance is here.
Confronted with allegations that they had cheated in an introductory data science course and fudged their attendance, dozens of undergraduates at the University of Illinois recently sent 2 professors a mea culpa via email. There was one problem, a glaring one. They had not written the emails. Artificial intelligence had, and according to the professors, Carly Flanagan and Wade Fagan, an academic pair known to their students and social media followers as the data science duo. The students in the large lecture hall October 17th, professors read aloud their identical, less than genuine apologies on the projector screen. Video from the class showed the professors posted about it on social media, where the got you moment drew widespread attention. Quote, they said, "Dear Professor Flanagan, I want to sincerely apologize," Flanagan said, and I was like, thank you. They're owning up to it. They're apologizing. And then I got another email, the second one, and then the third, and then everybody sort of sincerely apologizing, and suddenly became a little less sincere because everyone was the exact same. Now, about 1,200 students take the course, which is divided into 2 sections that meet on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Attendance participation in the lectures count for 4% of the final grade in the class. To track the engagement of the class, professors created an application known as the Data Science Clicker that requires students to log in on their phones or computers when prompted by a QR code, answer a multiple choice question in a certain amount of time, usually about 90 seconds. But in early October, professors said they began to grow suspicious when dozens of students who were absent from the class were still answering the questions. So the teacher said they started checking how many times students refreshed the site and the IP addresses on their own devices and began reviewing server logs. It appeared that the students had been tipped off about the questions, and when they had to respond, according to the professors who sent the emails to more than 100 students telling them that the ruse was up. Now, Alex Von Holten, a 20-year-old sophomore who took the class in the spring semester, said he wasn't surprised to learn that some of the students had, quote, been sleepwalking through it.
Yeah, I tell you, Cliff Notes used to be like one of the taboo things you could do. And did y'all always have the professor or the high school teacher who's like, if you write your book report on Cliff Notes, I will catch it. I know how to do it. I always thought that was a veiled threat. I didn't think they really knew how to. I think they were just trying to scare you. Now, when I was at Jack State, I was in a class once, and the professor had not changed his test from the year before, so the test got out. I think I still made a C in the class.
I do want to take this back. I brought up with Clay Travis yesterday. I don't know about you, that I'm not a big reader, but I read a lot of Cliff Notes.
I would read the Cliff Notes, yeah. You could survive them.
You could make it work.
Tyler, do you even know what Cliff Notes are?
Yeah.
Okay.
Some people use them, but it depends on the teacher you have, because sometimes they'll ask questions knowing that a lot of the students are only going to look at the Cliff's Notes.
Yeah.
And so it'll be a question where if you read it in depth, you know it. But if you only read the Cliff's Notes and you want to try and talk broadly about the question, you're going to get it dead wrong.
It was a contradiction. I think you could buy the Cliff Notes at the soup store or the bookstore.
Oh, you absolutely could.
Usually, yeah.
Yeah, they sold them at the Jack State bookstore. Yeah.
Spinning wheel rack.
Yeah.
Sit there.
I know.
Did you have breaking news?
It's interesting news, but it's not breaking.
This is an update. The AIDS monkey has been found.
Oh, thank goodness. I thought he was not infected with anything, though.
One of the monkeys that escaped last week after a truck overturned onto a Mississippi highway was shot and killed early Sunday morning by a woman who said she feared for the safety of her children.
How do we know this is the same monkey?
How many monkeys
They're tagged.
Jessica
They're tagged.
Jessica Ferguson said she was alerted early Sunday by her 16-year-old son, who said he thought he had seen a monkey running in the yard outside of their home near Heidelberg, Mississippi. She got out of bed, grabbed her firearm and her cell phone, and stepped outside where she saw the monkey about 60 feet away.
Well, that's a good shot.
Now, Ferguson said she and other residents have been warned that escaped monkeys carry diseases, so she fired her gun. Quote, I did what any other mother would do to protect her kids.
Shot a monkey.
She's got 5 kids ranging from 4 to 16 years old. She said, I shot it. It just stood there. I shot again. He backed up, and that's when he fell.
Well, I tell you, if any kid below 8 watching that's going to be pretty traumatizing.
It is. It is.
Mom shot a monkey.
Yeah, well, they're all dead now.
All right.
I feel safe.
That is Trash Today. Final hour of the show brought to you by Champy's World Famous Fried Chicken. Interesting fact, after I tell you the interesting fact that the chicken is never under a heating lamp down at Champy's Chicken on Highway 119 in Alabaster. It's cooked to order, brined overnight. So good. Hand-cut chicken fingers. Mississippi Delta recipe tamales. That taste, that hint of heat, that unique taste of the Delta. You get it with those Mississippi recipe tamales at Champy's Chicken, Highway 119 in Alabaster. From Awful Announcing, Disney, the corporation, is losing $5 million a day that it's not on YouTube TV.
It's a rounding error for Disney. But, I mean, that's a crazy number.
They're a $220 billion company.
Yeah, they don't notice $5 million a day.
$5 million a day, Brownie. Okay, what's a month?
30 days.
30 days times 5 is
what?
what?
$150 million.
Yeah.
But
$150 million.
They hadn't lost it for a month.
Yeah,
yet.
so you're looking at $1.8 billion a year.
Yeah.
Okay. What about this?
Okay. No, I'm still impressed by the number. $5 million. Don't get me wrong.
ESPN College Game Day. I will do it the way political writers do it. Lost 20% of their audience from when they were on YouTube TV to not on YouTube TV.
Right.
They went from 2.5 million to 2 million.
Uh-huh.
The actual games themselves, matchup dependent, of course, but the SEC on ABC window, on YouTube TV, 11 o'clock window, 6.6 million. Off YouTube TV, 4.5 million. The 2:30 game stayed at 7.8 million both weeks. Primetime game, 6.8 million on YouTube TV, 4.8 million off YouTube TV. Those numbers scare you at all, or just
if I'm
happen to be
ESPN, they do,
or
yeah.
it just happens to be that weekend?
Oh, I don't think it just happens to be that weekend. The game day one is the most significant one because they are having a record year on ESPN Game Day. So for that just to fall off is 100% YouTube TV related. It's got to be.
Is this going to get resolved? I know Clay said he doesn't think it will. Normally these things are resolved before kick.
I thought it was just a ploy to get everybody to Hulu, but if they're taking on $5 million a day, that's a big expense just to get everybody to Hulu.
Yeah.
I don't think anything is going to change unless antitrust lawyers got involved.
I agree. Overall, now they can come to a settlement. I can't imagine, Dunaway, them missing 2 football weekends.
2 million viewers, most watched season continues. ESPN PR quickly has just sent this out that it's the 2 million viewers still made it the most watched pregame show this past weekend.
It's a bad news for Fox Big Noon Kick.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I've been watching a lot of Fox.
Have you really? The Big Noon Kick, the game or the pregame? The game's awful. I don't know how you've been watching.
I'm just talking about this week.
Oh, this week?
Yeah, because I still have TVs that I haven't hooked up on whatever I've got.
You know what's
Hulu
such a sign of the times? I swapped over to Fubo. Is that the one I was on? Fubo?
Yeah, Fubo.
I swapped over to Fubo.
I didn't mind it.
I like Fubo just fine until Iowa State and Arizona State got close at the end. You know what Fubo doesn't have? The Turner properties. Because they're in a dispute with them. You can't find one of these that's not in a dispute with somebody.
That is the show today. We're back with you tomorrow. Bama and Bourbon goes out on our platforms here shortly. And don't forget the last call is out there all the time with Jake Coker and Mick Gillespie. Mick's going to be at the remote Friday. He'll be jumping up and doing part of the show with us Friday at the Rabbit Hole. Mick Gillespie, you guys love him. He'll be with us in Tuscaloosa at the Rabbit Hole 11 to 2. Is when we're at the Rabbit Hole, rain or shine. Thunderstorms or showers. We'll be there, Rabbit Hole, 11 to 2 with our friends at Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Come on out and see Mick Gillespie with us on Friday at the Rabbit Hole. Until next time, God bless you and God bless America.